Anyways, as you all know that he called me KG, you can call me KG. I'll give you a brief introduction of what KG is. Okay. But then you know what we are doing today. We're going to work on data science and correlation for sustainable development. Some added on the screen, right? So, end of the day, you will have a very clear understanding about what the strategy is behind this thought process. Okay. So, what we're going to do for the day. The dynamics for the day would be a little different, even though it will look very lame and straightforward. But the way we're going to interact will be a little different. The way you're going to think will change after today's conversation. Okay? Because I completely come from enterprise domain. Throughout my career, I've been meddling with data. Data is my stuff. Okay? I've been working in IT infrastructure, not just dealing with data, also protecting data, making data available 24/7. Okay, so you all will be happy if Insta is down for 6-7 hours. Will be happy? Some of you would be happy, some of you may not be happy. Okay, someone said no, I will be happy still. Would you be happy if your net banking is down 24/7? No, right? So everything that you do today has to also stay alive, and it has to be available for you all. So my primary role is to do all of that. Okay, I've been working in industry for quite a long time across domains. So I will today bring all that in a piece of a plate. Probably try to give you more number of strategies, how to build strategies, tips and tricks, everything together, and make you understand how data science works in real world and how you could apply that for sustainable development. Okay, see, data science is a adaptive method. Okay, so most of you would have learned it through some trainings and other things. Okay, no matter how good you are in tools, no matter how good you are in handling data, industries may not accept you unless and until you understand the dynamics of how to apply data science. So that's a different ball game altogether. Okay, so let's see how that works. So before I do that, agenda for today's journey. This is very important. See, last few days you have been listening about data again and again, correct? Yes. But knowing the significance of data is very, very important. Knowing the significance of data is very important, and today we will see the perspective of it, complete perspective of it. What's the significance of data, and what is the visualization for SDG related case studies? Okay, this is how the day would be. We'll be doing all of this. Okay. I also have a person along with me. You already got an introduction. His name is Harsh. So he's part of our team. Okay, he works on completely on data science and data analytics. He's been doing some real-time research on cancer and other aspects. Okay, so I've also got him today. Why? Because when it comes to tools and practices, it's always good to learn from the cosmos who are applying it on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I can give you from a leadership perspective. I can give you strategies. I can give you thought process. How data works. But if you practically ask me, do I work on data sitting there on a desk? No. But I give directions on how to. We had a scrub work, we did a discussion. So he's going to give you all those ideology, how it's going to be done in real time. Fair enough? So that's the plan for the plan for the day. Now, the very first thing, significance of data. Let me ask you a simple question before I start the day. Okay? Very, very fundamental question. Tell me how many data points did you generate from the time you woke up till now? Unlimited. Tell me some of them. No, tell me. Unlimited, many, all these are generic terms.
Waking up,
right.
Picking something.
How many data points got recorded? See, data point that you generated means which is as of now available somewhere. It's not just in your mind. It's not just in your mind. Please understand. So that's what I said. Significance of data is a little different. Okay. So every little thing what we do is part of data, right? But the fact here is how much of that providing data for others, or are we handling our own behaviors and data? That's my question. Did you understand what I'm saying? So from the time you woke up till now, again I repeat the question. Tell me how many data points did you generate?
Booking a cab is
very good.
Time
when you book the cab, okay? You using of Instagram, very good. Morning you use your Instagram, very good. Texting it? WhatsApp, okay.
Snaps, booking
Snap.
metro.
CCTV recording.
Booking metro ticket.
CCTV recording.
CCTV? I'm sorry, I put my phone silent. 1 minute. Yeah, CCTV?
Recording.
Very good. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So slowly you are looking into the dynamics of it. So
The biometric.
you need, sorry?
The biometric that we.
You just know, as you entered the biometric that you registered. Correct? Now if you look at it in a little broader way, let me take my I'll put everything in a structured way. So when I woke up, obviously I did not generate any data points. But the first thing I started generating data points the moment I started touching my phone. So many activities you did in your phone, everything is a data point. Blah blah blah. Everything is a data point. It's all captured. So simple thing. Okay, this morning I actually responded to a few tweets. Okay, next. So obviously X knows what are my priorities. That as soon as I wake up, what's my priorities are. That somewhere it is registered. Now, yes, whatever you did here is data points. Fantastic. After that, probably when I left my apartment, as you rightly said, certain CCTVs, certain cameras, everything would have captured me. Obviously, all that is recorded somewhere in the cloud. Correct? Somewhere historically, I can go back and check. Somebody wants to know what time I left home, they will get to know. Correct? But as I took my car again, I started listening to some news. That's a data point. As I was driving the car, every other signal, I crossed 25 signals. Every signal captured me. You agree what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Isn't it? So, every little thing that we are doing today, we've come a long way, but we have so much of opportunity ahead. We have definitely come a long way, but still we have so much of opportunity. At least I would say 20% of my behaviors have been so far captured from the morning till from the morning. I don't know. This session is also getting recorded. Alright. Correct? You all agree with that?
Yes.
So today everybody is dealing with data, which you all know. I don't have to talk about it. So I will show you certain dynamics about data in a short while. Before I do that, let me give you, because see, he gave a random introduction about myself. It will not be fair enough for you to sit the whole day and listen to some strange guy. Right? It's better get my small introduction. So that's KG. I'll tell you what KG is. Actually, my full name is Manikantan Mohanavelu, but this is my house name. In my house, they call me Krishna Guru. My society, everybody call me Krishna Guru. But then, in my first organization, I was involved in a complete discovery and a transition of a particular module, which is called Project Michelangelo, bringing the entire data center technology from Europe, that is not just Europe, Middle East and Africa, about some 12 English-speaking countries. I had to transition the business from there to India without even knowing ABC of that technology. So I did it right from the discovery phase to the transition phase and completed that successfully, got the business here in Bangalore, and around 3,000 employees got their job here. Because of that, they named me as Knowledge Guru in HP, and that continued. Okay, so that works with my personal name also, so I sustain that term. But when I speak to people, I tell them, you call me whatever you want to, kindergarten, kilogram, whatever, I don't care. I generally don't reveal what kg is. Okay, sir, you got it?
Yes.
Just because you asked me.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. Okay, so this is my career map. So if you see, right from day one, I started with data. I don't know how many of you understand what storage is. Okay? I work on server and storage architecture in Digital Global Soft inside a data center. And then over a period of time, I became a data center architect in Hewlett Packard Enterprise. I was handling the entire European region. This is what the transition I spoke about. Okay? So I was not stationed in India here. I was in Europe for almost 6 years. Entirely SNC regional manager, and then I became a director in coverage training and quality office in Hewlett Packard Enterprise. Right now, I'm a CTO and a director for a company called Absolute Technology. Actually, I'm a co-founder there. I have quite a number of startups. That's not the only thing what I do there. I'm a co-founder. So this business, what they do is they do data center solutioning and architecture for various clients in India and Southeast Asia. Apart from that, I also have another startup called as Data Center Skills, which is very well connected to your sustainable development. So objective is to develop niche skills for the people here in India. So our prime objective is that. So we're working on data center skills. Beyond that, I'm also a sports enthusiast. I have another startup called Streamline Sports India, where we develop candidates to represent India in certain sports domains. I'm also having another startup which is related to nutrition. Okay, it's called Cafe Central. We ensure we supply nutritional food to people who are in need. So that's fundamentally an NGO kind of a model. That is also related to sustainable development. Okay, and I also have a personal revenue generating model on food called Dani's Kitchen. Okay, so these are my startups. I work on multiple things. Okay. These are a little bit of my accomplishments. Lakshya Award Pan India Best Innovation on HRD 2030. This is again completely data analytics. Okay. Alright, so Presidential Award Best Automation Innovation 2014. Confederation, I've heard about Confederation of Indian Industries. CII only works on data, automation and data analytics. So this is an all India award. Each and every company cross domains compete here. I only competed 1 year, that's 2016, and I won it, Best Product Innovation. These are some of my patents. Apart from this, I also have, recently in 3 years back, during pandemic, somehow, Times India recognized me as the best, upcoming innovator. So it was good enough for me. So that's okay. Right, let's move on. Now, what do you have on the screen? What is that you have on the screen? Gold biscuits. Now, I have a very fundamental question to you. Name some of the resources which are quite expensive today and costly today. Diamonds. Yes. What? Platinum. Okay. Commodities. Commodities. See, what you spoke about are resources, natural resources. You forgot natural gas. You absolutely forgot natural gas, isn't it? Yes. How about certain commodities, which people manufacture and develop? Expensive ones.
Petroleum commodities.
See, I'm asking, very good. I'm asking some of a very fundamental question. Today you don't have an answer over your head. That is because you're not referred to the data in the right way. You understand what I'm saying? You're not observing the global dynamics, you're not observing the global statistics. That is the reason you're going hitting around the bushes. So if anyone asks any stranger, they would say gold, they would say natural gas, they would say commodities like this, lavish and expensive commodities. Or they could even say energy. Power is very expensive today, correct? Yes. Power is very expensive today. Trust me, beyond all of this, that is the biggest asset today. Most expensive asset. You might wonder what is this guy, And I would like to prefer buying gold, I would like to prefer buying this. Why would I prefer to buy data? What's the objective of me investing on data? Now that is when I'm going to change the overall ideology, the significance of data, what's running in your mind versus what's the reality picture. Okay? So let's see what's the value of data. Before I explain you what's the value of data, last night, because it's a real-time data which you need to refer, this morning I didn't get time. Last night when I referred with Fortune, Fortune, right? Fortune Group. So they actually assess global assets. And when, as per their live report, I looked at the top 10 richest personalities in the world. Top 10 richest personality in the world. In the top 10, first let me refer to the top 5. Okay? Bill Gates is not there as of last night's report. He's in 14th position. We all know that, correct? So, number 1, it is Elon Musk. Number 2, Larry Ellison, who is Oracle person. You all agree with that? Number 3, Jeff Bezos, Amazon person. Number 4, Mark Zuckerberg, Meta. Number 5, again Larry from Google. Did you understand that?
Yes.
There are 2 persons from Google. Okay? Sergey Brin, something his name is. The second person from Google. There is one more person from Microsoft who is, I didn't get his name. Okay? He's not Bill Gates, the other person from Microsoft. His name also ends with Steve actually. Okay? He's also there. So top 10, what am I even talking about? Top 10, if you can refer that to that data in the Google as well. Steve Ballmer, okay? That's the name, okay? So if you look at this top 10 people, in the top 10 people, 2 people belong to this category. 2 people belong to? 8 people belong to this category. 8 people. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Yes. Not even anyone who's selling this. Or you're not even somebody who's selling This someone who's dealing with the data is the richest person in the world today. So whatever I said, does it apply right or no?
Yes.
Now the question is how. Now the question is how. No, you all know that already. You all know that already. But I'll ask you. I'll change the dynamics. Let's see. Okay. What is the product of Meta? What's the product of Meta? Meta company, you all know, right? Mark Zuckerberg is the fourth richest person, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what is he selling? What is the product of Meta?
MetaQuest.
What is the product?
That's yeah.
What is he selling?
Yeah.
What is he selling? Is he so okay? Are you customer for Meta?
Yes.
Are you customer for Meta? That is what your thought is. You are not a customer for Meta because from Meta you're getting everything free of cost. So how can you be a customer? You are a resource person for Meta. Please understand the dynamics. Please understand the dynamics. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So Meta, you are a product of Meta. You are a product. Your behavior, my behavior is a product for Meta. So we are not customers of any of the Meta products. We are resources for them. And whatever the data they derive from us, they may make money out of it. You get it? So their product is only data. Their product is only data. Now the question is, how is it data? How can their product be? How are they generating so much of money? How come Mark Zuckerberg is the fourth richest person? What is your thought? Let me see. I can't say everything to you, right? Something you have to also think. At least one thing you thought, right? How data it is. Am I wrong in saying anything about data? So far, data is the most valuable thing. It's proven. Top 10, 8 people dealing with data. Now, very fundamental question I have to you all. How is Meta making so much of money with the data?
Taking our data and producing some these products. Means Meta will collect the data from us and we'll sell our data for the other customer who is going to do some products on us. If I am a man who is allergic to something, I'll give some data for the Meta. It will collect somehow from me.
Okay.
Because while I am speaking yesterday, we are talking with IoT. I got IoT ads here in my mobile. Like that, they'll collect the data, they'll sell for someone, and they'll do some product for us, and we'll buy that product. So like that.
See, this is where applying strategy on data, the dynamics of applying strategy on data has to change. Your maturity level has to change. When you're thinking from an individual perspective. Yeah, they make money from an individual perspective, but that's not their big gain or loss. How do they make money from a larger perspective? Let's look at larger dynamics. Okay? Very simple. Now, recently US election happened. Correct? Okay? Let us say the Donald Trump's party, before the election, they wanted to obviously campaign. They want to reach out people, influence people. Anyone has to influence people to win election. So who will they influence people? Whom will they influence? Whom will they influence? They're not using influencer. My question is, if I need to forget about Donald Trump, okay? I need to win election. Whom I need to influence?
Voters.
The one who hate me. I don't have to go and influence the one who likes me. Did you all understand this? The one who hates me. But the one who is dead against me, there is no way I can invest energy on that person. The one who is slightly neutral or slightly away from me, that is where I need to invest my energy. Let us say the overall statistic says only 70% of the people vote. Forget about the 30% who doesn't vote. I'm just giving a rough example. Statistics. 70% vote. In that 70%, 30% are with me. I don't even have to spend a single penny on them. They're anyways going to vote for me. So leftover is another 40%. In that 40%, let's say 25% are dead against me. There's no point in wasting any energy on them. So what is left over? 15%. In that 15%, let's say 10% are neutral, 5% are somewhere if I influence, they'll come to me. That is my target audience, just 15%. If I play with this 15% and get another 5% extra vote, that's all. I don't have to convert the entire 15%. I have to just get 5% vote from that. Who will give me all this data? Elon Musk's X or Meta's organization. Did you all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
They can topple government. They can change government because they register all your behaviors. They know who you are, what's running in your mind, what is your thought, what you like, what you don't like, and they know how to really make money out of it. That's money. Did you all understand? That's one small strategy what I spoke about. Let me tell you a bigger strategy. Little larger strategy. Okay? Little larger strategy is don't panic, but it's reality. After walking out from here, KG said me so many things. Am I living with this? Don't panic. Okay, what I'm going to say, the second reality is a reality, but don't panic. Okay? The second reality is all of you have Gmail account.
Yes.
Everybody have Gmail account. No deviation in that. What do you use the Gmail account for? I mean, if you are answering, don't do random answering. Whoever wants to answer, raise your hand so that it goes systematic. Okay? So what do you use Gmail account for? Yes.
Store the photos, extra storage space.
Gmail account.
Send the messages.
Send emails.
Send emails. Okay.
Receiving mails.
Receiving mails. Okay.
Android.
Oh my God! Finally, somebody's talking. See, this is where your dynamics and your thought process has to change. Shall I tell you why I use Gmail account? I'll give you the list. I use Gmail account, as I rightly said, for my phone. I use Gmail account as a default user ID for all applications. My Amazon ID is Gmail. My YouTube ID is Gmail. My Insta ID is Gmail. My WhatsApp ID is Gmail. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? My banking email address is Gmail. Are you all getting what I'm trying to say? Did you all get that? So Gmail is your identity. Your answer should have been, if you would have been strategically thinking, the answer what you would have given to me is that you would have said, Gmail is my
Identity.
Do you have any alternative identity today? You might have it, but you will not use it. Because they have already set that mode to you. Can I live without a Gmail ID today? I cannot live without a Gmail ID today. Now let me ask a simple question. Now Google is giving Gmail free of cost to you. Absolutely free of cost. Again, you might say, I'm a Google customer. You want a Google resource. Remember that. Okay. Tomorrow, overnight, Google thinks, oh my God, why am I giving this Gmail ID to each one of them? And some of them are exploiting with it. Some of them are having 4 IDs, 5 IDs. Every other kid who's born is getting my Gmail ID. It's growing. It's day in and day out growing. 2023 statistics says, there are 6 billion plus Gmail ID. I don't know what 2024 statistics will say. There are maybe 7 billion more Gmail IDs. 6 billion Gmail IDs. That's what their last year statistics says. It's not a small number, right? 6 billion Gmail IDs. Now, Google is so disappointed. Why should I give free of cost so many things to you and I have to store all of this? Overnight, they decide a lot of time and energy is going on to this. I'm going to stop Gmail. It's a button. Stop Gmail. Tomorrow morning, you cannot access any of the applications. You cannot log into your banking. You cannot, recover your password. You cannot log into your phone. You see the international catastrophe. It is much powerful than an atomic explosion. Google just clicking on one button, their Gmail ID, stopping that services. And they have no international obligation saying that I have to keep it on 24/7 all the time. You're not signed with any of the organizations, not with UNO. You cannot mess with Gmail or Google. That's why 2 people from Google are in the top 10 list. Did you all understand the dynamics?
Yes.
The significance of data, what critical role it plays? Yes, no? Now, before we get into sustainable development, for some of my students, I always tell them, what is the size of data? Because nowadays data, you can get it just like that, okay? Because everywhere they're capturing data. Just now we saw, from morning till now, what all the data is being captured. Data is randomly getting captured. But then what are we going to do with the data is the next question. What are we going to do with the data is a very, very important question. So, but then, when you have data with it, there is something called as protecting data. There's something called as Protecting data. Now, protecting data has three elements involved in it. Three elements involved in it. What are the three elements involved in it? Protecting data. You can make a note of all of this, whatever I'm saying. Three elements involved in protecting the data. So, if I'm an organization, I am handling your data. For example, you're using WhatsApp. That means so many messages of yours. Tomorrow your system might crash, but I need to give back all your data. So, you might be using Insta. Correct? Your system might crash, but still the data is with me, right? Yes or no? So I need to somewhere have some regulation around data. So the fundamental regulation for data is any data any organization handles, three sensitive things they need to take care of always. One is availability. What is availability? Data should be available to the user all the time, 24/7. Did you all understand this? Data has to be available 24%. That means they have to invest so much of time and energy and infrastructure they have to build, let us see what kind of infrastructure also they build, that's secondary. And that infrastructure will lead to what kind of carbon emission also we'll discuss. We'll discuss all of that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Alright. So first thing is availability. Second thing is data integrity. What is data integrity? What do you understand by the term data integrity? Data integrity is you post something and I go and manipulate the post. Your post has to remain your post, right? The data should not change. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So data integrity is data should not be manipulated. Data integrity is data should not be manipulated. Data should remain the way it is supposed to remain. Okay. This is another example which I give it to my students. Now I will tell you how strong integrity in terms of data is. Okay, since you've been interacting since morning. What's your name, sir?
Yashwant.
Now Yashwant definitely have a bank account.
Yes.
You have a bank account. Now tell me what is your bank balance. Don't have to. Just randomly. Okay? So let us assume, hypothetically, I'm not putting it down to the ground. So he might have a saving bank account, he might have fixed deposit, various things, alright? So in his saving bank account, hypothetically, let's say, he's having 10 lakh rupees in his saving bank account. Okay? It might be more or less, I don't know. 10 lakh rupees. Is that okay? Now my question to you is to Yashwant and to everybody, where is that 10 lakh rupees? Can you go to the bank in next 1 hour and withdraw that?
Yes.
You can.
Yes.
He can or not?
Yes.
He can. He can digitally withdraw it. He can manually get the currencies also if he wants to. Whatever he wants, he can do it. Yes or no?
Yes.
The question to Yashwant and everybody is, where is that 10 lakh rupees? As of now, hypothetically, he has 10 lakh rupees in his account. Where is the 10 lakh rupees?
Digital number. Digital number where it is stored in the cloud.
Digital number. Actually, in the bank, no other data is important. His outstanding balance is important. Are you getting it? So, Yashwant, customer ID, account number, so and so. His outstanding balance is Indian national rupees 10 lakhs. Just a one-line string of data. Just a one-line string of data. The size of that data can not even be 2 KB. Not even be 2 KB. It is so critical. Imagine the 2 KB data is corrupted. Imagine the 2 KB data is corrupted. Where is this 10 lakhs then? Just know you said somewhere this door. Where is this 10 lakhs then? This 10 lakhs is gone. Neither bank knows what it is, nor he knows what it is, because files can get corrupted anytime, data can get corrupted. Now you tell me, how much of assurance you have on your bank that particular file will never get corrupted? Don't you have that assurance or not? Without even committing you that assurance, you have already visually built that assurance because they are assuring you that. Your data with us is with utmost integrity. It will never be manipulated. It will be kept with us. You do any transactions, maybe you put another 10,000 into the account, we will edit that file. We will say 10 lakh 10,000. Or you withdraw 50,000 out of it, we will say 9 lakh 50,000. But that file will not get corrupted or go missing. And that file also will be available for you 24/7 whenever you tap it. Did you understand the importance of availability and integrity along with data? Yes, no? The third element correlative to data is confidentiality. Confidentiality. Correct? Now I asked a question to Yash. Yes, right?
Yes.
I asked a question to Yash. What is his bank balance? Correct? Only he can know that. Can I know it? That is confidentiality. That is confidentiality. So confidentiality is, you need to know what is in your business, you need to know what is your public data and what is your private data. Private data should be associated with lot of confidentiality. It should have the right level of authentication, right level of authorization, and right level of logging also. What is logging? Monitoring. Who is authorizing, who is accessing it. So make a note of that under confidentiality. Under confidentiality, what all you do with the data, not with the public data, with the private data, what you do with it. With the private data, you make sure the right level of authentication, right level of authentication, right level of authorization, and then right level of authorization, and finally monitoring, logging. Logging is what? For example, Yash account, I log in and access. So tomorrow Yash goes to the cybercrime department and he says, Yash says, somebody has logged into my account and manipulated my data. Manipulated means they have withdrawn some money. Now Yash is complaining that. Now how will the cybercrime determine what he's saying is correct or wrong? How will they get to know? Yes, it is Yash. They will see the log. Yash only has logged in. Maybe somebody has used his ID and logged in, correct? Yash only has logged in. But then they will determine what time did they log in, which IP address did they do transaction, what is the location of that IP address, how will they get all this information? That means every time he logs in, I am capturing that information. That is called logging. Did you all get that? It's not just authenticating somebody, not just authorizing somebody, you also need to monitor those login information, where it is coming from, what it is happening with it. All these are requirements of business. So data cannot be just blindly handled. There are so many sensitivities behind around that. Did you get that? So that's the significance of data, because data is the most costliest thing on planet Earth right now. It might change, but right now data is sometime before, right now we're talking about gas. Sometime before it was charcoal. Right now the value of charcoal has gone down. Still it is in use, but it's gone down. Tomorrow this might go down, because we are going into renewable energy. Yes or no? So we might transition. So data also need not be the actual asset. The value of it might reduce over a period of time, but at least for the next decade or so, it will rule the world. At least next decade or 15 years, it will definitely rule the world. People who deal with the data will be the richest people on the planet Earth. Is that even making sense? Okay, now let's move on. Okay. Now, this you already understood. Just now I spoke about 3 elements right now. What are the 3 elements? Availability, confidentiality, integrity. So what every business does to make sure all this is taken care, whatever the data that you transact, they make sure they don't randomly store it anywhere they want to. They always store it in a confined, polished environment. What is so called as a data center? What is so called as a data center? So anything that you transact in today's world, all the reports and all the information are always stored in a data center. Okay? Now the question is, how much of data is there inside this data center? The next thing, that means what is big data? See, your vision of big data is very, traffic is so high, every second the data is being captured, its volume is there, variety is there, all that 3 V's. So much of data is coming, all that you know. But the fundamental question is, how big that big data is, and how is this having a direct impact on carbon emission? We will discuss that. Data is also pollution, let me tell you. Data is also pollution. Is that even making sense? So in what way it is a pollution is what we're going to discuss right now. Is that okay? Now before we do that, at least you got a fair amount of idea. Whatever, this morning till now, even that, what is capturing tomorrow, you might put it in some data center, correct? If you host it in YouTube, it will go to a data center. If you put it on a website, it will go to a data center. Is that okay? Now, whatever that availability, confidentiality, and integrity, all that is designed inside this data center. Because you cannot have all of that in your laptop, you cannot have all of that in your home-based machines. So, business data, one of the norm for business data is to accomplish all those 3 elements. You have to always create a IT infrastructure. You have to always sustainable development. IT infrastructure also comes into play. One of the critical goals for sustainable development is having sophisticated IT infrastructure. Is that even making sense?
Yes.
Right? So all the data, business data has to be stored here, not personal data, business data. Now, the simplest example for that is, I keep giving this visionary thoughts. Okay? Now, you access YouTube, right? Do you?
Yes.
What's your name? Sanjana. So Sanjana, when you access YouTube, let's say you right now take your phone and you access your YouTube, you see a video. You see a video. On that video, where is it? It's stored in your history. Can you access that video without internet? So what do you mean by stored in the history? My question is, where is that video? If it is in our phone, if it is in our history, it is on our phone, correct? She should be able to access that video without internet. But to access that video, she needs internet. Does she need internet or not?
Yes.
Unless until you download that video. Unless and until you do we download each and every video? No. We just view that and leave it there. Correct? My question to not just Sanjana, to everyone here is, where is that video? Absolutely. What's your name? Teju. She said it right. Just now I explained you. It is in the data center. That means when I take a phone in my hand, when I click on a YouTube video, my phone is literally sending a request. From my phone is sending a request to the which data center? YouTube's data center, and fetching that particular video onto my phone, and that all that happens in a nanosecond. All that happens in a nanosecond. And you believe that that particular video is on my phone? Absolutely no. That video is on the. And then, do you know where's the nearest data center for YouTube? No. For us, it's in Mumbai. So every video, fresh video that you access from Mumbai, it gets delivered onto your phone. And that happens in a nanosecond. 2017 and before, still we were using YouTube. The nearest YouTube data center for us was in Finland. 2017 and 18 only, Google and YouTube, they transitioned their data center. I mean, they made a new data center for India customers. They're in Mumbai. Is that clear? Now, what is the point here? Now, what is the carbon emission? Let's look at what is the energy consumption. Let's look at what is energy consumption for data centers. Let's look at a small number here. All these are data, end of the day. Now, if you look at this energy consumption, you see a rack here?
Yes.
So, these are the kind of racks where all the data are stored. All the data are stored. Now, they use different kinds of devices on this rack. Different kinds of devices they use on this rack. So bare minimal device what you can have on a rack. Maybe one video I would recommend you all to see maybe today, end of the day or tomorrow. Okay, inside a Google data center. There's a video in YouTube. Please see it personally. After this conversation, once again you go and view it. Okay, there's a video called Inside a Google Data Center. Search for Inside a Google Data Center. You will see a tool to see what's inside the. It's a 10 minutes or 15 minutes video, watch it completely, okay? You'll get a lot of insights inside a Google data center. Now, you see there's a rack here. The smallest device on this rack could be just a small one view device. I mean, one view device, the smallest server. It will be so thin, okay? The smallest server, it will be so thin, okay? Now, okay, let me ask the question in a little different dynamic. Okay, let me ask the question in a little different dynamic. If you have, I mean, you all would have your own houses or rented houses, whatever. If you have a 2 BHK house, 2 BHK house, how much of power consumption does your 2 BHK unit do, your house do? On a standard?
150.
200.
And in terms of total power supply to your, how many kilowatts? You get a meter, right? There's a limitation for that meter.
220 kilowatts.
3 kV.
3 kilowatts or 2 kilowatts or 2.5 kilowatts, 3 kilowatts. Ideally for a 3 BHK 3 to 4 kilowatts, for a 2 BHK 2 to 3 kilowatts, for a 1 BHK 1 to 2 kilowatts. Is that making sense? That's what we use for the entire house. In that 3 to 4 kilowatts, you can have 3-4 televisions running, 10 fans running, 2 heaters running parallelly. What I meant to say, a refrigerator could be running, the ACs, couple of ACs could run. So for a technical house, 3 to 4 kilowatts is sufficient if it's a 3 BHK house. 2 BHK, 2 to 3 kilowatts, and 1 BHK, 1 to 2 kilowatts. Why you need to know all the statistics is, if you want to work on sustainable development, all these basics you need to know. Okay, how much of energy consumption we do in a urban life. This is urban life's energy consumption. Is that okay? Alright. Now, coming back to the fact, if you look at these data centers, okay, a single rack, you can mount approximately about 40 to 42 devices. 42? Let's take a round of number. 40 devices you can mount on a single rack inside the data center. 40 devices. Are you getting it? Each device will have two power supplies. Each power supply has a total consumption of 750 watts. 750 watts, 1.5 kilowatt. How many devices are there in a single rack?
40.
This one rack, so you look at this lady standing, her height, she's maybe 6 feet, the rack might be 7 feet. And it's as slim as her. That one rack is equal to 40 1 BHK houses. 40? Just not 1.5 kilowatts. One device, one new server inside that. Yes, 1.5 kilowatts. Did I tell you for 1 BHK 1 to 2 kilowatts you need? Yes or no? That single rack is a 41, single BHK house. Imagine you build a building with 40 single BHK houses. How much power it will take? The entire building is one rack will take. Do you understand that? Now you might question me. So can't we reduce the size of that? All that, probably we can reduce all of that. But the challenge is, again, you have three fundamental requirements for data: availability, integrity, confidentiality, and speed also. Where is the nearest data center for Google? So you have to generate speed, it has to generate confidentiality for you, integrity for you, and it has to be available for 24 hours. I cannot crunch that. It's technically, scientifically, it's very difficult. Okay? And to run one single application in Google has so many applications, correct? Google has so many applications. To run a single application in Google, let's take a single application example of 1 billion users. See, Gmail are not 6 billion users. Let's take 1 billion users. One server can handle 1,000 users. One server can handle
1,000.
What is 1 billion? 100 crores. 100 crores divided by 1,000? 100 crores divided by 1,000? 100 crores divided by 1,000? 10 lakhs. 10 lakhs. Correct. I need 10 lakh servers. I need 10 lakh 1 BHK houses. 10 lakh 1 BHK houses I need to run an application which has 1 billion users. Imagine all the applications in the world, which is almost every application is having 500 million, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. Are you getting what the power consumption is? Did you all understand that? And today, one of the hotmost point for data centers is India. Globally, each and every data center is getting migrated to India. Each and every data center is getting migrated to India. That is fundamentally because one is the cost of energy. The previous slide is gone. The cost of energy, the cost of real estate, the stability of network, the stability of politics, all seems to be fantastic here in India, and that's because of which global investors are pushing all the data centers to India. Okay, so many data centers come. Imagine the amount of power consumption that is going to, and see, this is not going to emit carbon. Data center is not going to emit carbon, but to generate the power to supply the data center will emit carbon. So we can understand the intensity of power what we need. One of the critical solutions for this, we are talking about problems all this while, right? One of the critical solutions for this is you have to transition in terms of sustainable development. You should take away data centers from urban locations and move them to suburbs. You have to move them to not green patch, not greenland, green patch. You have to move them to suburbs which are not green patch, non-green patch. Okay, but we will call those data centers as green data centers. We will call those data centers as green. What do you mean by that? Make a note of each terms I'm telling you. These are the solutions. Okay. All right. So what did I speak about? You need to move away data centers from urban world. You have to move away data centers from urban world. You have to move them to remote areas, suburb areas. Technically, you cannot move them to too much remote area because again net connectivity, all that is a challenge, correct? At least suburb areas, at least suburb areas. One of the critical location in Bangalore for data centers is Biddi. In Bangalore. Biddi has a lot of data centers. You might see, when you go to Biddi, you take a drive, you might see warehouses, you might see some workshop, that workshop, all data centers. So lots and lots of data centers with millions of servers integrated on them. You got it? So Biddi has a lot of data centers. Government has ensured subsidy in Biddi. Government has ensured renewable energy supply in Biddi. Now, one of the norm for investors, I'll give you the example, the solution. One of the critical norm for the investors is, if I have to build a data center, I have to, definitely sustain my own energy. I have to invest on my own energy. So what I should do, let's say I want 10 megawatts of power, I have to generate fundamentally 80% of my power. That means at least 8 megawatts I should generate myself. So how will I generate 8 megawatts on myself? Go and invest on solar farms or whatever, windmills or whatever. So if I have to own a data center in India today, you will get land subsidy, you will get internet subsidy, but for power you have to invest. You have to be self-sustainable. So this is one of the critical action in terms of goal that our national government has taken. So the investment, what is happening in today's world is all on green data centers. Is that okay? But still, I don't know how much of carbon emission they can reduce, but still it will be there. But some critical actions, at least 80% come from renewable energy. Is that okay? That is why India is becoming a very, very large player in renewable energy today. Because every business which is investing in India, they are also parallelly investing on renewable energy firms. Okay? So got a fair amount of idea. Understood how much of power consumption happens inside this data center. Okay? So every little action what we do also emits carbon. What action? I walk through a gate, I am emitting carbon. Do you know why? You know why? CCTV camera is capturing. That is passing the information to a data center and that's consuming power. Today my training is also, I'm talking about sustainable development, my training is also emitting carbon. You got it? So that's the reality. Everything is emitting carbon. Every little action of us is emitting carbon. Got a fair amount of idea? Okay, now we understood the significance of data, we understood the reality picture of a data, the value of a data, and how business looks into the data. That much we understood. Now we will see what is the size of the data, which you wouldn't have imagined. What is the size of the data? Once we discuss the size of the data, then we will get to the dynamics of data. Is that okay? Yes. So let's look at the size of the data. Okay. So size of the data when we talk about, what do you think? What will be the size of the data? What will be the size of YouTube?
Thousands petabytes.
What is the size of YouTube? We said thousands of petabytes, maybe. Okay. What's your name? Charlie. What is petabyte? You have an idea? You use some random term and you don't know what it is. The reality, it's not about you. Half the person, people may not know that. But the reality is when you deal with large amount of data, there are certain things you need to get used to, without which you will not understand certain elements. Okay? So I had a very simple question here. What is the size of YouTube? Okay? Now, even if you ask the YouTube manager, you may have to check the report, live report, because as what the size of YouTube last night might change right now, and the count of videos in it, the number of channels in it, number of videos getting uploaded, number of shorts getting uploaded, and beyond that, the size of each videos might drastically change. The videos can span anywhere from few MBs to few GBs also, correct? Based on the size and the intensity of it, isn't it? Now, I cannot practically tell you how much of space is there in YouTube. Now, the next question to you all is, how is YouTube accommodating all that video? You have challenge in your laptop. Suddenly, I'm out of space. On my phone, I go back and delete all the historical messages and videos because I'm out of space. Happens or not?
Yes.
Happens or not? Now, how is YouTube able to accommodate so many requests and so many information? Every day, anyone can upload videos free of cost. You also make a platform to generate your own revenue. It's all fine. But then how is it giving all of this free of cost and how is it accommodating that data?
Google Cloud.
In data center.
Again, that is it.
Data center.
Cloud is virtual connection to data center. You understand what I'm trying to say? Cloud is just a platform existing inside a data center. So if I physically know where the data center is and I'm personally logging into a data center, it's not a cloud. If I'm logging into a data center through another platform wherein I don't even know where my data center is, it becomes cloud. It's cloud mind to me. Did you all understand what I'm saying? Okay, because I don't want to explain what a cloud is in this conversation. I can give you a very detailed conversation what a cloud is, but I don't want to do it. I want you to avoid that term for now, because we're talking about data. Let's talk about data only. Data centralized. That's all. Is that okay? Now, all this data, somewhere it is stored. The fact is, you know, it's data center. But then, what could be the size of YouTube? So practically, you can't even imagine. So let's make a mathematical calculation for one application, any one application. So what could be the size of Gmail? Every time a Gmail account is created, you create a Gmail account, you get a mailbox, correct?
Yes.
You get a mail. The size of the mailbox, that means you receive mails, you send mails. The size of that mailbox, maximum it can grow up to 15 GB. Free of cost. 15 GB. That means Google is giving you 15 GB mailbox to every user. How many users are there? 6 billion users. What is 6 billion into 15 GB? 90? 90? Billion? 90 billion? GB. Have you even thought about these terms? Have you even thought about these terms? That means Google is handling just for Gmail and 90 billion GB. 90 billion GB. It's small data, correct? The same applies to Google Drive also. Google Drive. Every time you create a Gmail ID, you get a Google Drive also. Google Drive is another 15 GB. Again 15 GB into 6 billion? 90 billion GB. What is this 90 billion GB? What is that? You said some terms, no? Now you tell me. What is 90 billion GB? So when you are dealing with data, especially when you are dealing with big data, certain terms you need to get introduced to. I don't want you people to look lame. That's the reason I'm introducing you to those terms. And then we'll move on to the relativity of data science. Is that okay? These are very important. Yeah. Okay, so this is called business data. Enterprise data. Your data, my data won't be so big. These are called business data. Is that okay? What would be the size of Instagram in that case? Imagine how many profiles in Instagram, so many posts, so many transactions, so many comments, so many interactions. It keeps increasing on a day-to-day basis. Correct? Same thing happens with tweets. Correct? With X, isn't it? So this is all called enterprise data. So in enterprise data, the simple thing which you all know, I don't have to explain all these simple terms. You know?
Yes.
What's a GB? You all know what a GB? Terabyte.
Yes.
Gigabyte? Terabyte. Okay. Technically, these terms you might be mostly using in your personal computers. All your phones today it's in GBs. Maybe one or two phones even might give you 1 TB of data. Not hundreds of TB. 1 TB. So in personal computing, all your personal computing information is in GBs, max to max 1 TB or 2 TB, not beyond that. Not 1 TB or 2 TB. Small business. I can give you examples. Small business. For example, let's talk about applications, which are very small in intensity in nature. Not very large enterprise business, small business, where the number of users are less than 10 million or so. Small applications. Still 10 million. See, today we come to a world where we say 10 million users is a small business. Have you ever seen the video of Mark Zuckerberg and his team celebrating 1 million users in Facebook? When they launched Facebook, in 2009, and 2013 is when they test 1 million users. When they test 1 million users, you should have seen the celebration what they did, because they were one of the leading application which test 1 million users. 1 million. Today 10 million we call it as a small business. People get that? So if you have an application, let's go to a Play Store, and if you scroll through all the applications based on the number of downloads and installs, you can figure out how big that application is. If it's a small business, there would be hundreds of terabytes. Multiple terabytes, maybe 10 terabytes, 20 terabytes, 30 terabytes, 50 terabytes. But then, if you cross 1000 terabytes, it becomes a petabyte. Petabyte is technically a mid-sized business. What was the term you said? Petabyte is technically a mid-sized business. For example, 50 million users, 100 million users, 250 million users, 500 million users. Anything above 500 million users are called large enterprise. Anything above 500 millions are called. We have more than 500 applications, more than 500 million users today. You got what I'm trying to say? Huge. Is that clear? So small business technically ranges from 10 million to up to 500 million. Not small, mid-range. Mid-range is a huge gap. Okay. So their data will be petabytes. Thousands of terabytes. Their data will be petabytes. Their data will be petabytes. Okay. Actually, the size of Aadhaar card, Indian repository, the citizenship repository, because I worked on that particular data center implementation in solutioning for a period of about 3 months. Okay. So I know what the size they were designing it for. They were designing it for 40,000 petabytes. 40,000 petabytes. Not 1 petabyte, 2 petabyte. 40,000 petabytes. Total citizenship data. That means not overnight data. They will be capturing more and more data because they are doing linkages.
Yes.
From Aadhaar, they are doing other database linkages. So for each citizen, they are holding a massive record. So that massive record over a period of time will also track your transactions. Your banking transactions will be correlated. RBI regulation will say your banking transactions will be correlated with Aadhaar. Right now, only your PAN is linked. Over a period of time, your banking transactions also will be linked to Aadhaar. So in a single click, we'll get to know who is this person, where is he, what is he doing, which is his location, everything we'll get to know. So they are designed it for 40,000 petabytes. You can understand that. Still, 40,000 exabytes is a large enterprise. I'll tell you how it is. Okay? So you understand what a petabyte is? 1024. 1024 petabytes is called a. So large enterprises deal with exabytes. You said now 90 billion GB. In technical term, it is 90 exabytes. That's all. 90 exabytes. Just now you told me 90 billion GB. 90 billion GB is just 90 exabytes. Did you all understand that? So in enterprise world, you will not use big terms like that. We just say 90 exabytes. That's all. What is Aadhaar cards repository? 40 exabytes. 40,000 petabytes. 40 exabytes. That's all. Did you understand that? And what is the size of Gmail? 90 exabytes. That's all. Nothing big. You got it? Simple as that. So that's exabyte. Everybody got a fair amount of idea how big data works? Okay. So then, now you know what assets means. Larger the data I handle, richer the person I become. Okay. So why Jeff Bezos is still in the third rank? I spoke about all the rankings. Why Jeff Bezos is still in the third ranking? Because he has 47% of the global cloud share. AWS has 47% of the global cloud share. 47%. See, if you talk about cloud companies in the world, there are hundreds and thousands of cloud companies, correct? Amazon is a ruler of cloud. They have 47, you can go back and Google later on. 47% of the global share. There are only 3 players, take all the shares.
Yes.
Up to 75% they take the share. 47% is with Amazon, okay? And the second is the competition between Microsoft and Google. Both are wavering around 17 to 18%. One is doing 17, one is doing 18, which is Microsoft and Google. That is why Google 2 players are also sitting there, along with other applications. You got it? So they have the largest data. What do they do with all this data now? They apply strategies, make business out of their data. One of the strategy I spoke about just now, the political election strategy. Did you understand that? Like that, any strategy you can apply. So having their data is not important. Knowing what data science is also not important. Knowing how to do data analytics also is not important. Strategy is important. What you are planning to do out of the data is important. So today, when you want to make a very large or a big career in data science profession, you have to not just be strong in analytics. Let's not just be strong in knowing what data science and tools are. You should know business strategies. You should know know-hows of business. What they are looking for, what are the opportunities, where they can make money, where I can derive propositions. Hypothesis in simple words. You should know that. Hypothesis again simple mathematics. If you apply, you will not get it. You should learn the business well to know the right hypothesis. Is that even making sense? Everybody got it? So that's the highest importance and significance. So today, you know what one layer of the business do as they stay in the business for some time, they really digest the business so well. They know the know-hows of the business so well. So once they step into the leadership team, they don't play with all these tools. They will sit down and they'll draw the hypothesis. They'll draw the strategies and they'll say, all these analysts and people who play with the tools, come, get me this, get me out, get to this strategy. Let me see the data in this angle. Let me see that picture in this particular angle. You got it? Those are the people who are very highly paid. Very, very highly paid. Is that even making sense? So when you are trying to make a journey in data analytics or data science, fundamental thing is please understand how the world works, understand the behavior of data, understand the dynamics of different domains and businesses. Again, if you want to become a data science or a data analyst, understand in which domain you want to be a data scientist. So first go and learn that domain, deep dive into that domain, understand the behavior of the industries in that domain, what they are looking for, what their challenges are, what their survival competition, okay, what their future strategies are. You need to learn each of these. Only then you will become a strong data scientist. Is that even making sense? Most of us forget to analyze which domain we want to be in, and we don't even study the domain. Then you can never grow up the ladder. Hope that is making sense. So when you try to do some research and research papers, learn the domains first. Domain. You have to learn the domain. Put a big star beside that. First, decide which domain, and then deep dive into the domain. Because we have so many domains. Okay? We have so many domains. So today, if you want to go for a senior job in data science or data analytics in any company, first thing they'll ask you how much of experience you have in this domain. Not on how good you are with the tools, how good you can analyze. How much of experience you have in this domain. They will ask you domain related questions, strategy related questions. Okay? Such people are in industry called as techno-commercial people. Such people are called as techno-commercial people. Techno-commercial people. What is techno-commercial people? What is techno-commercial people? What do you understand with this term? If you are good at
Will you apply strategies to extract the business model?
No. Who knows the technology
And strategy.
and also who knows the strategy. That means most of us, when we academically learn, we only learn the technology. We don't learn the strategy. So you will only become a technologist. But today the world's demand is you need to be techno-commercial.
Yes.
Only people who are techno-commercial get very good salaries, get very highly paid. Got the difference? Right, sir. Perfect. Okay? So understood what is exabyte? Okay? In very layman term, exabytes are billions of GBs, petabytes are millions of GBs. Millions of GBs, billions of. There's something called trillions of GBs also, right?
Zettabyte.
There it is. You're not able to see. Oh, sorry. This is like the loop is like this. Okay, it's right here. Zettabytes. Yeah, zettabytes. Trillions of GB. Zettabytes. You might wonder, okay, do any company have zettabytes of data as of today? Yes, they do have.
Yes, they have yottabytes.
Google has it. Amazon has
also
it.
they have some.
Okay, Meta has it. There are very few companies. Oracle has it. Okay? So very few companies, you can name them in hands. Yes, there are companies having zettabytes of data as well. Okay, thousands of exabytes makes it a zettabyte. Okay? But then let us take a statistics now. What will be the status of the global data? How much will be the global data?
Yottabytes.
Yottabytes. We have not touched yottabytes. We have yottabytes, no doubt. You have yottabytes. After setup, yeah? Yota bytes. If you can't, just 1 second, start up and sit down. Sorry, this is not auditorium structure. Okay, 1 second, start up and sit down. I won't ask you questions. Why did you stood up and all that? Let's go Yota bytes. Screen is little low, I can't tell you. Okay? Yota bytes. Is that making sense? Right. Yota bytes. Okay? But large companies work at exabytes. Very, very large companies, unimaginable companies work at zettabytes. Global data summed up together is also in zettabytes. We are yet to reach yottabytes. When will we reach yottabytes? We will reach yottabytes when we at least touch 25% automation. Right now, we are not even at 11% automation. When the globe touches 25% automation, we will reach yottabytes. Now you might question me, what is the correlation of automation and data growth? Correct? What is the correlation of automation and? Why is this person now talking another term? They're all related, okay? They're all related. What is the correlation of automation and data growth? Let's see in the next slide. What is the correlation of automation and data growth? Okay? But then remember, the expectation is we will reach yottabytes by 2028, 2029. 2028, 2029. We'll reach yottabytes. By then, we would have touched at least 25% automation. So, all the companies are working towards automation. They're working towards automation not just to help the society or so. They are trying to do automation just to help themselves. Every organization are money minded, no doubt in that. Their primary objective is to eliminate all the frontline workers. Because when you walk into any organization, if there are 1,000 employees, out of the 1,000, 600 to 700, that is 60 to 70% are frontline employees who do monotonous tasks. That means they don't do creative tasks. What is being said to them is what they do. So all the frontline workers in any company for that reason, they contribute to 60 to 70%. Another information I am giving you. Why this information again is related to sustainable development? Because in sustainable development, reasonable growth is one of the goals. Reasonable growth is one of the goals. And automation might impact it. While it impacts it, how do you derive a solution matters now? How do you derive a solution? So what automation is going to do? Automation is going to technically take away the frontline roles, not overnight, gradually. That means at least global 25% of the frontline workers will be eliminated by 2020. That's a prediction. 25% of the global frontline workers. That means if I am owning a company and I have 1,000 employees today, in that 1,000 employees, around 600 employees or 700 employees are doing frontline tasks. What is frontline tasks? They do a lot of activities, a lot of working they do. They do reporting, they do monitoring, they do strategic work, but they're not very, creative in mind. They are slightly monotonous. So if I can replicate that with some automation tool, I don't need them. But whatever they are doing, can I replicate it? 100% of it overnight, I may not. So even if I eliminate 20% of their work, I can eliminate 20% of the workforce. So 2028, out of my 600 employees, I may not need 250 of them. I can fire them. I might only need 400 of them. But that growth will go exponentially faster. Even though we have so much of time, 3 years, 4 years for 25% frontline workers, by 2025 now we would have crossed 70%. 70 to 80% would have crossed. Frontline workers will be bare minimum. Okay? Maybe you would have already seen this. Okay, simple examples. Simple examples. You go to a mall today. Okay, you park your car. You come out of the mall. Isn't FASTag aligned in the mall? Have you observed? No, I don't know which mall you go to. Okay, I already started seeing it. I saw it in Phoenix Market City. I saw it in Mall of Asia. Very surprising. When I took my car, I came out of the mall, I came to the counter where we pay the money. I go stop, no employee, nothing. The gate open, super I went out. They are associated FASTag with the mall. Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So private sectors are integrating with national tools. Did you understand what I'm trying to say? Automation. We don't need anyone there. Why do you need someone standing there, telling them how much money, and then collecting the money? Whatever FASTag, it's already automated. Why can't I bring that to private sectors? That's exactly what they're doing. Did you see that? So isn't that a massive elimination of people in the ground reality? Yes, it is. You got it. So this is exactly what happens when automation comes in. It will remove a lot of people from frontline work. So what is a critical task?
Again, when it is automated, we need the employees in order to control that automation.
That's where I'm coming
Again,
to.
we have to.
That's where I'm coming to. That's the next answer. Exactly correct, sir. That's my next statement.
Correct.
So what we in academic society have to do is, if you are all engaged yourself in learning or educating others, if that is your task, somewhere you have to do a phase shift. What is a phase shift? Don't give them knowledge for exams. Give them knowledge for survival. There's a lot of difference. You see, if you have to touch your heart and we have to work, we should not give them knowledge for exams. The academic phase shift has to happen, and it has to start from this room, start from somewhere. Like how I'm talking to you all today, somebody else will be talking somewhere else. Those are all goals of, again, SDG. Quality education. Survival education. Quality education is again a goal for SDG. Today's session is also directly related to SDG goal. You got it? So the education what we give should not be just bound for them to clear an assessment or clear an exam. The education what we give them is for it should be reliable for them to sustain in the industry at least, if not for a decade, for 5 years. The rest is their headache because technology is continuously developing. Today, if they can survive, it is their responsibility to upskill and more. Every individual responsibility is to upskill and more. And when you allow them to survive in a monotonous world, they'll get ejected very fast. When you allow them to survive in a creative world, they will long last. Answer to me. We need people to develop that automation. One example. So your way of skilling people should not be for generic skills, it should be for niche skills. What is niche? Niche is not just a skill. Techno-commercial, just now I spoke about. Educating a person from a wider perspective, from a creative perspective, from an intellectual perspective, from an innovative perspective, from a design perspective, from an automation perspective. Did you understand that? They can survive. They can survive. Did you understand this? So when you induce all these elements to your society, they will outgrow. If they don't, tomorrow they are burdens sitting in some corner. Definite burdens. They themselves will become a massacre, a calamity for the society. Because they cannot grow. You got the point what I'm saying? Clear? Alright, so fair enough. Don't worry about all this. It's going to happen over a period of time. So let's adapt and move on. The overall conversation is how do we adapt and move on. When we guide someone also, how do we guide someone? That's all it is. Okay? The whole world is changing time and again, correct? We have to change and move on. Okay, I spoke about the top 10 richest people in the world just now and I know what it is. If you go back, I saw the historical record last night also. Because I keep tapping them. When I saw the historical record in 2006-2010, the top 10 companies, they were all product-based companies and retailers. Product-based companies and retailers. What is product-based companies and retailers? CEO of what is that? Cisco, CEO of Intel, CEO of HPE. All these people are in the top 10, including people, investors on Walmart. Okay, investors on Costco, Tesco, all were at top 10. So we have migrated in terms of value and wealth. We have migrated from product-based investments to database investment. You got it? If you go another 20 years back, that means in 2018, 2019, I saw the historical record, they were manufacturers. They were manufacturers. The change is always there. The change is always there. We have to keep moving on with the change. We should not fear ourselves. One of the critical things is we should know what the change is and we have to align to the change. We should not fear. That's more important. Okay? Alright. So understood what is your topic? And for your kind information, India is the first country in the world to build a IOTA facility. IOTA data center facility. No other country till date they have prepared it. We don't have IOTA capacity data, but they have built a facility for IOTA capacity. It is built by the group called Hiranandi Group. You heard about Hiranandi? Iran, the real estate builders, they are building towers and all that. No, they are not only today. Real estates are not only in real estate because data plays a role. They are also into data center real estate. They are also into data center real estate. So they build a YOTA facility, a facility that can host YOTA level data in a single facility. You can host YOTA level data, and the data center itself is named as Iranandi YOTA Data Center. You can Google that later and see. Iranandi is YOTA Data Center. Sorry. So India is the first country to do that. It's not even there in US, now in China. Okay. So understood the big data figures. Okay. Now what was I talking about? I was talking about
Correlation.
no. How the data grows. What is the pattern of the data? Grows. That's again important, correct? Because that is directly again related to carbon emission. Okay, so how is the data growing? So imagine data centers will work in this areas. It's up right side, data centers. Is that okay? Okay, for your kind information, there are about close to 8.5 to 8.6 million data centers in the world. 8.5 to 8.6 million data centers in the world. If you walk into any IT building today, for example, you walk into Electronic City or Manita Tech Park or Whitefield, the Bagmani Tech Park, you go for an interview, or if you are already working there, whatever it is, you might have your bay, you might have your cubicles, you might have your workspace. The same building will have a data center, you'll have no clue which floor it is. It's confidential. Every other building will have a data center. They are called as brown data centers. They are dangerous. Why? Because they are taking direct power from urban power. They are called brown data centers. Now, government has declared a governance, a complete governance. You cannot have brown data centers anymore. Whatever is existing can continue to run. If you have to invest on data centers, it has to be a green. If you don't have money to invest on green data center, go to people who have money. That's cloud. So I don't have money to develop my own green data center. Let's say Amazon is having or Google is having. Let me lease it from them. That's it. Okay, but only green data centers. That's a good decision what they have made. Now this is how the data has been growing. You can see the global data until pandemic. The laser is not working here. Is it work here? No, it doesn't work. Alright, it is until pandemic. Sorry guys for the people who are there. The screen is low, I can't tell. Okay, you all can see, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the data stamp from 2009 till pandemic. I'll show you after pandemic also. Why I put it in this way? Because this is again data from IDC, international data. Okay, for a kind of information, I just now spoke about strategies, correct? Now let us say I am a car manufacturer. I have two choices now. If I'm a car manufacturer, I'll tell you how companies work. I have two choices now. If I'm a car manufacturer, I can build my own expertise on data science and strategies. But that's not my expertise. My expertise is car manufacturing. What I can do is I can outsource my strategical decisions and data governance to a third party. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Strategical decisions and data governing to a third party. Are you all getting what I'm trying to say? So I'll give you the list of companies who does it. The third party companies, world's leading companies. Okay, I mean not in order. I'm just telling you one after another. So you have Fortune. So Fortune is not just the publications or magazines. Their primary role is to provide strategies and data analytics to other companies. You got it? That is why they run so many surveys. Have you seen Fortune randomly running surveys everywhere? Or you can say tomorrow I want to manufacture a car. How do I know what my clients will like? Some survey somebody would have done. He already has the data. I'll go to it. That's what outsourcing is about. Did you all understand this? Everybody got it? So you have to make a note of that. Fortune, Times Group, KPMG. These are the leading players. KPMG's specialty itself is only quality, data and strategy. Okay? So I'll repeat that. You have Fortune, Times Group, KPMG, Gartner. Heard about Gartner? Oh my God! You are working on data, but you don't know Gartner. Gartner predicts future. Gartner predicts future. Okay, they will tell which company will fall, which company will grow, what their strategies are. This company has to invest on what technology, what product. They predicted even how iPhone 15 will fail. Very in advance. Okay, Gartner. Did you all understand that? So Gartner, and then you have IDC. The report what I'm showing is from IDC, International Data Company, IDC. Okay. Then you have Goldman Sachs. Heard about Goldman Sachs? What is Goldman Sachs? Are they carrying gold? No, that gold is data. Goldman Sachs, they have the data. Did you all get that? They buy data, they deal with data. You got it? So that's Goldman Sachs. And who are the suppliers of data for all of these people? Who are the suppliers? No, we are individual contributors. We are individual contributors. Who are the suppliers? Google, Microsoft. They sell data and make money. These guys polish the data and make money. You see the difference? There is a group who sells data and make money. There is a group who polishes the data and make money. They give what is exactly needed. You got it? No, we are contributors. Why do you call yourself? We are contributors. See, actually, it creates a win-win situation. It creates a win-win situation for you, for everyone. Nobody is stealing your data and exploiting you. Nobody is stealing your data and exploiting you. Is that okay? But they are rather creating edge for you. You might wonder how. I'll tell you. I'll give you the example. Since he said the word, we might be the bakra. Not exactly. You might be. You might receive a benefit out of it. How you receive the benefit also, I'll give you as a case study right now. Okay. So you have what are the companies are? And Goldman Sachs, Symphony, Times Group, all of these people. Okay, some examples I gave you. So if you want to be living in data, your ultimate goal should be to work for one of these companies. If you want to be living in data, you want to breathe data, live in data, you have to work for one of these companies. You got it. If you want to work on data gathering and data correlations, then you need to work for large companies, cloud-based companies like Amazon or Microsoft or Google, or even for Meta, that reason. Such companies. Is that even making sense? Understood the difference? Who does what? Okay. Now, another aspect for data is, since I'll give you this example, I'll do a correlation now. Okay. Since you asked me the question, sir, you said we might be the goat. Absolutely no. I'll give you a simple example. Right? Now, see, any one of my behavior, someone is going to make money out of it. Any one of my behavior, somebody is going to make money out of it. For example, not just one behavior, a pattern of behavior. Okay, what's your name? Vidya. Vidya, what food do you like? Do you like burgers? You do? Okay. Let's imagine Vidya, nothing. She goes to maybe Burger King or some burger vendor. She buys a burger. Okay? She buys a burger. Nobody cares. But her activity is registered. You all agree with that? Her activity is registered. Now, what way it is registered? Just to answer this question. Okay? Vidya is buying a burger from some place. Isn't that a data point? How it is a data point?
She's doing
Sorry?
She's
transactions.
Okay, how will I know what burger should look?
She orders.
There's a bill which is
CCTV camera will tell out. No. Simple. Okay, guys, understand. Simple. Don't get rocket science into all of this. It is so simple. I'll tell you. She walks into the burger shop. The guy, give me the phone number, ma'am. You got an invoice, ma'am. You got it. That invoice might come to you as a message or through WhatsApp on your phone, or it could even be an email. Yes or no? Does on Android all applications have registered? What burger Vidya has bought, how much she has paid also. How did she pay, what account she used also they know. Everything they know, correct? And what location, which person they have bought. Now let's say Vidya, she did it on a Friday evening. Okay, again on a Sunday evening, some other burger vendor, the same locality she goes, she buys another burger. She does this. 2 times she does it. The moment 2 to 3 times she does this. Just 2 times is enough. The moment 2 times she does this, and if Google gets to know, our record says she chooses to buy veg burger. She bought a veg burger here also, she bought a veg burger there also. So multiple things I know about her. 1, she likes burger. 1, she likes burger. 2nd, she likes veg burger. 3rd, what price of burger is her range? It's her range. Do I know that or not? Correlation. And 4th, which locality is she Buying where she's comfortable eating, what time of the day she's buying. Okay. Along with this, I have her contact number, I have her email address, I have all her information, correct? This entire data string of Vidya, what I have right now, is a money for Google.
Yes.
So what Google can do is take this entire string of data and give it to all the 20 burger vendors in our locality and say, she's a sure shot burger buyer and she's a sure shot veg burger buyer. I assure you, you can convert her. This data will cost you 10 rupees. 10 rupees! 20 guys I sell it. She buying burger for 2 times, she wouldn't even spend 200 rupees. But because of her 2 times buying burger, I got 200 rupees. She buying burger for 2 times, I got 200 rupees. Now what these 10 vendors will do, how much is the money they spend? 10 rupees. They got her information, they will send her message now. We have a buy one get one burger. Buy it between 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. Isn't that a benefit for her?
Yes.
So, you're not a bugger. It's a win-win situation. So it's a win for all the stakeholders, be it the business person, be it the user, and be it the data guy. For everybody, it's a win-win situation. Unless and until somebody exploits the data. That is the only reason the next thing comes as data security. So next thing comes as data security. We're talking about so many intensities of data and all that. In terms of data security, you need to make sure one of the critical element for data science and data analytics is you need to be a hacker. You need to be a hacker. Now the question is, hacker means what? I'm going to go and jack somebody's phone and get all the information from him? Not exactly. Hacker means I'm going to ethically take somebody's information. How am I going to ethically take somebody's information? I'm going to become a Trojan in their phone. You might be wondering what is this Trojan? For security, okay? Security. I'll tell you. Don't worry, don't make so much of phrase expressions. I will make your life easy, okay? Don't worry. Alright? I will not leave you hanging with the thought, okay? So I'll explain. Alright? I'll explain. Don't worry. So the next critical element is data security. Data security. Under data security, what these kind of data guys, be it data collection guys or data analytic guys, most importantly data collection guys. Data collection guys, what they focus on security is, they focus on ethical hacking. They call it as ethical hacking, but unethically they collect whatever they want. They call it as ethical hacking. Okay? How does ethical hacking works here? I'll teach you. Okay? How does ethical hacking works here? I'll teach you. What the method they use is called ethical Trojan. Ethical Trojan. Trojan. Ethical Trojan. So I'll explain you what is a Trojan.
Virus.
No, it's not a virus. I'll explain you what is ethical Trojan. You will now go bonker again. Tomorrow, I don't know how many of you will throw your phones into the dustbin. I will leave it to you. Okay? What is ethical Trojan? I'll explain you. Okay? Ethical Trojan, they use ethical Trojan as a rat. As a rat. R-A-T. Rat spelling you all know, but that is not the spelling of the actual rat. RAT stands for remote access Trojan. Remote access Trojan. Okay, actually it is a rat. Its behavior is also like a rat only. Its behavior is also like a rat. Remote access Trojan. Trojan. Remote access Trojan. Okay, what it does, I'll explain you. How does the Trojan work? What exactly it does? What it does, and all that we'll discuss. Now, when we talk about Trojans, okay. Trojan is a mythological term. Okay, it's actually Trojan means a horse. You know the Mesopotamian civilization, the war between Romans and Greeks. You know all of this. You might have seen Thor movie and all that, right? So those war in that one of, if you don't know, in a small summary, between their all the wars they used to happen, they wanted to have a peace treaty. So what the Romans did to the Greek, they gifted them a wooden horse. Okay, wooden horse. In terms of peace treaty, they gifted them a wooden horse. The size of the wooden horse was some 100 feet long and 100 feet tall. So it's a big horse. They crafted that horse and they gifted to them, and saying that no more fight between us. So these Greeks people, they got that horse into their downtown the city. They kept the horse there. Finally, citizens will be happy when there is no war, right? They're also happy there's no war. They all partied, they all, they hanged out and partied, they did anything, and everybody were out of their conscience. They all went to bed, they all laying down every corner. Slowly in the midnight, there were close to 100 soldiers who came out of the horse. They were all hidden in the horse. They came out of the horse,
and they took over the kingdom. That horse, hackers will put it in your device. That is why it's called Trojan. Did you all understand that? That horse will come to your device. How does it come to your device is what we're going to discuss now. Did you all get that? So how does it come to your device? It comes to your device in the form of an application. So if I develop an application today, my application, you're a user. You're a user. I am not going to only consider you as a user. I'm going to consider you as a resource. I will not consider only you as a resource on my application. I will consider your phone as my resource. Not just you as a resource, not just your transaction as a resource, your entire phone as a resource. What is there on your phone, entire stuff is my resource. Now how does that happen? When you install an application, this is what ethical hackers do. When you install, for example, I'll tell you, you are installing, let us say, a project management tool, simple project management tool on your phone. The project management tool you're installing, now it didn't ask you anything, it asked you the username, password, and you install. After installing, when you want to open a new project, it says, no, to open the new project or make this application run, we need your files and documents access. We need your folder access. We need your location access. We need your camera access. Blah 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 access. What have you done now? Because you want that application to run. This is ethically. Why it is ethically? Because I'm asking you, you're giving me. You got it? I'm asking you, I've already sent the horse. I've not sent you the project management tool. The project management tool is for you. But along with that, there is a Trojan. It's sitting there. I'm sending to him. Now that my Trojan guy will not come out suddenly. You will pop up. But he will ask, can I attack you?
Yes.
You say hello. Hello, 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 hello. Your phone is on that. Simple as that. Did you understand that? So every application that you install on your phone is a Trojan. It's a rat. This is ethical hacking. So what does data collection people do? Ethical hacking. Yeah.
If I remove that app, still that will be there.
If you remove it, they are ethical. If you remove it, it will not be there. It will not be there. The Trojan will only work when the app is running. See, there are two things. You decide when to allow access. Always or when the app is active. Why would someone need access always? When you're not using their app, why would somebody need your folder's access always? They need it for a purpose. For you, you're getting the luxury of a free app, that's all. For them, they get all the data. I already know what's the value of data. Yes or no? So everybody's phone data with every other application. So understood data security, no data gathering. So data gathering, they actually expect you to be an ethical hacker. They actually expect you to understand the dynamics of hacking. They expect you to understand, how important hacking is, because data is asset. We should not leave a single opportunity to let any data escape. We should see to that we, probably go and grab each and every data. Right? So every other application on your phone is a Trojan. Remember that. Okay. So there are ethical Trojans, there are unethical Trojans. Unethical Trojans ethical Trojans, one important thing is they will not exploit your data. These guys, you have signed an agreement, no? They will not exploit your data. They might use your data for further marketing and sales, but they will not exploit your data. Rather, your confidential information they will not go and share it to someone. That governance is there, but how far they will hold it, nobody knows. But that norm is there, but how far, if they do anywhere, if they do data leakage any corner, they will be out of the country. That app will be banned in that country. Simple as that. That is how some apps got banned from India. Did you all understand that? But how much can you trust a private company? It's left to you. How much you can trust, how much you cannot trust, I cannot tell anything. But they are called ethical hackers. But there are non-ethical hackers. Non-ethical hackers induce Trojan into you using free websites. Okay, what is free websites? For heaven's sake. Just because I get a free learning material here, free download document here, free white paper here, free article here, don't go to some random websites and download anything. When you download it, you will get the free document, integrate Trojan with it. that Trojan will be running in the background of your phone. That application will come to you free of cost. They will exploit with it. But those people have no norms against you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Yes or no? So that is why don't go to random websites and download anything randomly. If you have that habit of doing it, have a very, very strong endpoint protection software on your phone. EPP, endpoint protection software, which will actually make a note of that. Very strong endpoint protection software. Very strong endpoint protection software. So what does EPP do? EPP fundamentally scans any download that you do. It understands whether that download is a legal download or whether the format is an appropriate format or not. If it slightly finds any deviation in the format, it will clearly tell you this is a warning document. Don't download it. You're not even allowed to save it. You got it? And my sincere recommendation to you all is go ahead and enjoy. I mean, download every app and enjoy it. But maintain 2 separate phones. One for your regular apps, one for your confidential apps. Don't club both. Okay? Especially when you do core banking and financing, use an exclusive device. Don't use it on a standard device where you download every Tom, Dick and Harry things. You got it?
Yes.
You might wonder, does this guy do this?
Yeah. He has it.
Kind information already. Because I teach people the entire dynamics of cybersecurity. If I don't follow, how can I preach what I'm not following, right? These are some of the preliminary rules against. What's the time load in terms of confidentiality, in terms of integrity? Then we looked at security as well. Okay? That means if you have to work in an organization where you do data collection, you have to even do some level of ethical hacking. You have to bring in the data, what you want. So people will look at methods in which they can grab the data. It's important for them. And I also told you it's a win-win situation, except, I don't know how many will exploit it. If they exploit, we are in a trap. That's all. Okay? Since I had a question in terms of security, I had a couple of questions. Let me try to answer those questions. One I got just before the break, and one of the ma'am who was sitting with the coffee with me, she asked. So both the questions I would like to answer. They won't come here for me to give them an answer. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll tell you what the question is. So the question, another question that she asked relative to that, whether she understands this or not, but I'll tell you. The question that she asked was, what are the steps that governance could take, national governance could take in terms of data security? Okay. See, I'll tell you what. There are a lot of policies already defined in terms of data security. Data governance policies are very, very strong. Very, very strong. Tomorrow, if I have to open a bank, the banking operation says that I have to store your data under 50% redundant objective. I'll explain you what is this. These are scientific terms. I'll not get to scientific terms. I'll tell you in a strategic way, simple way. Okay. If I am storing your data, okay, I might be storing your data, right? If I am storing your data could be very large, isn't it? Let's say I have millions of customers. If I'm storing my data and your data could be very large, the entire thing collapses, right? Entire thing catastrophically fails. Still, your data has to be available, not through backup. Backup is a different thing. I'm not talking about backup. I'm talking about the live data. Live data has to be replicated, and it has to be kept in 2 copies, not in 1 copy. It has to be kept in. Even if one collapses, the other one should the same. Not backup. That's what I'm saying. It's not backup. This is live, online data. This is live, online data. I have to maintain 2 online data. That means when as a customer I am striking one data for read and write activity, whatever I am doing here will not get acknowledged to me immediately. Whatever the behavior is happening here, it will be parallelly replicated in another device. Only then I'll get an acknowledgement. You got it? So if this fails also, my connection instead of going here, it will go here. Next nanosecond. So the business will not be down for me. So like this one example I gave you. In terms of data governance, there are so many policies already defined. If I am running a business, I have to adhere to all those data governance policies. If you deviate from those data governance policies, what will happen to me is I might lose my license. I might lose my rights to run the business in the country. Suddenly, have you seen some brands going down? Yes. Some brands being closed. Some brands being legally probably they take legal actions, or they might send them out of the country. All that will happen. But still, the question is, what is the step they take towards security from a government perspective? I'll ask you a simple question. Have you all come across a scenario where Insta has been hacked? Raise your hand, raise your hand. Who all have come across a situation? Raise your hand, please raise your hand. You all have come across a situation, Insta has been hacked, okay? Now you tell me, what is your example? Where did you read that article? What is that you read? Insta has been hacked.
No, my Insta itself was hacked.
Your Insta was hacked.
Same.
Your account was hacked.
Mine was public account.
Your account was hacked. Anybody else? My question was, have you ever come across a situation Insta has been hacked? Tell me.
I read that on newspaper.
What is that you read?
In short news, we have application called.
Yeah, I know, in
In
short.
that
Huh.
we got a message saying that Instagram has hacked. The earlier situation was that it was not loading. Whenever I get inside the Instagram, it was not loading. We checked on the internet, everything, and then in short, we got a message Instagram was hacked.
Okay, I'll explain you your scenario, I'll explain you their scenario. I'll explain you both the scenarios. Historically, Insta has been never hacked. If Insta is hacked, they will not run as a business. And Mark Zuckerberg will not be the fourth largest person in the world. You will not have investors around it. So get all of this out of your mind. Insta can never get, you can never hack a business. Why? Where is the data stored? Inside a? And a data center can never be hacked. Because the data governance policy says there are certain norms you need to follow to store the data inside the data center. And there are 8 layers of security. There are 8 layers of security. So I can never hack a data center. But still I can hack the data. You know how? Sorry guys. Still I can hack the data. You know how? Still I can hack the data. You know how? Let us say, what's your name? Akshata. Let's say Akshata is a program architect working in Instagram. So her login into Instagram is to code Instagram. Not your login, my login. We are users. Her login is to code Instagram. Now Instagram, Meta has given her work from home. She's sitting in a coffee shop and doing it. Okay. I become a man in the middle. Through the coffee shop Wi-Fi network, I hack her laptop. I am not hacking Instagram. I am hacking her account. Because she has a different authentication on Instagram versus you. So through her, I can hack the data. You see the difference now? So data leakage never happens directly from the business. You can never even hack business data at all. If at all you have to hack, you can only hack a user machine. And what level of user machine you hack, that much of benefits you. Did you all understand this? Now what is the difference between phishing and whaling? Phishing and whaling. Never heard about this? Yeah, sending emails. What is the difference between phishing and whaling? Phishing is I go and try to attack any Tom, Dick and Harry. Whaling or spear phishing is I go and target a person because he has a value add account. He has the authentication. He has the authority. Did you all understand the difference? Everybody got that? You got the difference what I'm trying to say? Whaling. Whale. See, there's a difference between fish. There's a difference between whale. Big fish. Big fish. You understood? So if she is a senior programmer in Insta, if I hack her account versus your account, it's very different.
Basically, difference between the target.
Exactly. Yeah, authentication. See, I already told you, data is secured using integrity and confidentiality. What is confidentiality? Authentication and authorization. A standard user authorization is different. An admin user authorization is different. So I hack her account, I get more access. So am I accessing Insta? No. Tomorrow in Insta, when they look at the log, they will know the leakage was her account. You got the point what I'm trying to say? So you can never ever hack a business. Remember this. You can never ever, all the news what you read, please come in. All the news what you read in reality, okay, Insta been hacked, tweet been hacked, they cannot get hacked. If they are getting hacked, nobody will be investing on them. And they cannot be the richest people in the world. You got the point? Because they follow so much of regulations. So, if you are a senior, data guy in a company, you will also go through SOBC on data governance. Tomorrow you're working as a senior data guy in any company, okay? You will go through SOBC on data governance. SOBC stands for Standards of Business Conduct. Standards of Business Conduct. That means how do you need to conduct your business? Standards of Business Conduct. You'll go through an agreement on SOBC, Standards of Business Conduct, on data governance. Okay, that means tomorrow if you're a data guy in a company, that means as a login person, you get all the access to the data. See, you cannot control data with everyone. An employee has to access to the data. Let's say I'm the key employee in the company and I have all the access to the data. Will the company blindly give me the access to the data? No. I need to go and sign a SOBC. You know how the signing of the SOBC happens? Just like your application, you won't even know. As an employee, you'll be asked to go through training. Dozens of training, 10, 15, 20 training. In the training, there will be agreements. Without your knowledge, you go through the training, click agree. Tomorrow, your account gets hacked, you will get sued. That's what the training document will say. Understand that? So you need to very clearly go through that training. So that training will be every employee will go through the training. A standard employee will go through a simple module of the training. A senior employee will go through a little, because senior employee, the kind of people they are working with will be a little different. A data guy, the kind of employees, data kind of access you will have will be different. They will go through the SOBC training. And in SOBC training, they will clearly tell you, never use public Wi-Fi. Never use
Public Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Always use your private Wi-Fi. Always use private Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi. You know why you're not supposed to use public Wi-Fi? Do you know? Do you know why you're not supposed to use public Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Sorry?
A lot of people will be connected to that. Someone can reach.
Not exactly. See, you are connected to, let's say, college Wi-Fi. I'm connected to college Wi-Fi. Can I do anything on you? Maybe, may not be. That's second. Okay. Maybe, may not be secondary. See, actually, in public areas, very interesting fact I'll tell you. Don't panic again. Alright? This is a reality. So people like us, we can very easily hack your devices. Just like that. It's very easy. How I'll tell you. So, in public areas, especially if it's a coffee shop or airport or railway station, anywhere, public areas, wherever the Wi-Fi people use, I can just go to that particular area. First thing is, I can study the Wi-Fi. How will I study the Wi-Fi? It's a free Wi-Fi. First thing is, I know what's the Wi-Fi name. Second thing is, when I access the Wi-Fi, what web page comes up? What is the shape of the web page? How does it look like? Okay, welcome to Cafe Coffee Day. Please enter your phone number. I enter the phone number, click enter, you will get a 4-digit password to your number. That's all. I can have a dummy app for that. Same. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay. Now I can take my hotspot or my router, my wireless access router. That wireless access router also I can give the same network name. Take it in my bag, keep my bag on the table like this, sit and work. You are now searching for the Wi-Fi. In your Wi-Fi list, 2 CCDs coming up. You might randomly click anyone, right? You might be clicking my network. When you get into my network, I am the gateway for you. All the data of yours will flow through me, not through anyone else. Did you all understand that? So what traffic you are handling on the internet will go through my system, because my system is the gateway for you. I can configure my system as the gateway and I can capture each and every information of yours, including your screen information. That's called evil twinning. It's called evil twinning. Evil twinning is nothing but creating a shadow network.
What is the man in that middle?
Man in the middle is what that person is. Through evil twinning, I am bringing you. I am bringing you and the internet, and I am the person in between you. You got it? Did you understand this? Everybody got it? Everybody understood this? Is that?
Private enterprises, then data will not be protected.
I never said that.
Because two private.
No, I was not talking about two private networks. I am talking about a public network. Me establishing a parallel public network. I'm not even talking about a private network. I'm talking about a public network. Me establishing a parallel public network. So you want to access a public network. Let's say you want to access SSMRV Wi-Fi. If you log into SSMRV, I cannot change the router. I cannot change the gateway policies, because SSMRV gateway somewhere, I don't know. I cannot change the gateway policies. But when you're accessing for the Wi-Fi, SSMRV name is there, no? Same Wi-Fi, one more Wi-Fi is there. Will you click that or not? Because I'm bringing you onto my network. and I'll become the gateway for your data. You might be thinking you're on SSMRB network, but you'll be the only person on my network. I'll be accessing all your data. Did you all understand this? That is why you're not supposed to use public network. So in that SOBC training, every individual will go through all. This is one example I gave you. They'll be very clearly, demarked and said, never use public. We will pay you your internet expenses, everything as a company. I will be giving you everything. Why are you going in search of public networks? Never. All these are regulations. So end of the day, no business applications can get hacked. Hacking only happens at individual account level. So when I question you, have you ever come across a case study of Insta being hacked? It is an Insta account being hacked. It's not Insta. If that's the case, Insta won't be existing today. Did you all understand that?
Yes.
The only thing I can do on a business, to hack a business is DDoS. DDoS. Exactly. How that happens? What happens? Do you know what is it? But good you got the information at least. I'm happy that one in the crowd has that. Do you know how does it work?
Like sending lot of requests to lot of computers.
Very good, logical. Very good. She's somewhere relative. I'll give the exact explanation of it. The only way you can attack a business, the data center, is you cannot steal the data. You can attack a data center and steal a data. But you can bring down a data center. You cannot, what is bringing down a data center? I cannot do anything on integrity. I cannot do anything on the confidentiality, but I can do something on the availability. I can bring down the data center, but I cannot steal the data from it. How do I bring down that data center? Let us say that data center is designed for 1 million users. Okay, the data center is designed for 1 million users. I use 10,000 or 1,000 users I make those 1,000 users behave like 1 million users and keep sending requests to that site. So already 1 million users are hacking it. So if I am a new user, how will the app look like? It will not respond. When I try to log in, it will lock me out, or it will say application not available, or it will be very slow. Automatically my interest on the application will go down. That is the only thing I can do on enterprise data in terms of hacking. Did you all understand that? So that is called distributed denial of service. DDoS. So DDoS attacks, if you have to do DDoS attacks, distributed denial of, okay, for your kind information, I'll show you live examples of DDoS. Right now, as we talk, so many DDoSes are happening across the world. So many attacks are happening. I will show you all those right now. Don't worry about it. I'll live show you, okay, DDoS, how in the world attacks are happening. But then when you talk about DDoS attacks, okay, distributed denial of services, why would somebody do this? Somebody will do this to bring the business down. Competition. For example, hypothetically, I'm not saying it, I'm just random. So let's say Google has a competition with Microsoft. Microsoft has a competition with Apple. They might hire a few hacking communities. They'll say this many X number of dollars. You go and do a DDoS on one of the data center. So if that data center goes down, the regional people will get impacted. So stakeholders will change. The investment overall share value will reduce if the application is down. But then for that, they have to shed a hell of money. You know why? Because it's not very easy to bring down Amazon, Google, and Insta data centers and all. Because you need, millions of hackers to do it. Where will you get millions of hackers? One, you need to get millions of hackers, or two, you need to have a shadow data center to attack. Because you need so many compute power. You understand what is computer power? Let's say 1 million users means 1 million laptops you need. That much of compute power you need. Let's say you use some supercomputers and superdomes, and from there you attack. Now you know why China is building superdomes. Just give you a rough example. Did you all understand that? So these are destructive methods. Otherwise, nobody can create any harm to your integrity or confidentiality to the business, because business is handled inside a data center. They're very well protected in terms of security. Only availability can be attacked. So to answer your question, it's already taken care. Don't have to worry. Okay? It's already. Where data can get leaked? It's because of you. Your device, your information, your ignorance. That's all. Business will not leak your data. Yes, there's one more way the data gets leaked. I'll tell you nowadays. One more way the data gets leaked, because of outsourcing. Because of outsourcing. This is also a dangerous aspect. Make a note of it if you want to. Outsourcing also leads to data integrity issues. or data confidentiality?
Recently, there was a case of, there are more number of cases on digital arrest.
Digital arrest, yes.
Yes.
I'll give you a live example of outsourcing. Right now, I'll give you a live example. You know how outsourcing has a big impact on hacking? I'll tell you. So outsourcing, how it works is, especially, you know what, I mean, I have a lot of friends who work in banks. If you have friends, talk to them, sit and talk to them. Whether from the front end person to the senior most general manager, everybody's goals are only sales in banking. I don't know whether you know that or not. In banking, everybody's target is only sales. They have to sell, something they have to sell. Selling means what? Bring a new customer, or give a loan, or give that product to them, or do them to investment in mutual fund, or do something they have to sell. Did you understand that? Whatever their level they are in, their objective is only sales. The goals are only sales. So what these banking people do is, most of the times, to enhance their sales, they outsource the sales activity. For example, they say they probably go to a third party. Let's say they go to Accenture or Cognizant or Convergys or some companies who do front desk jobs and other things. They, in domestic call centers, international call centers, they call them and they tell them, you know what? I will give you a repository of all my, silver, credit card holders. All the silver credit card holders, and in the silver credit card holders, I'll also tell you who all are salaried, who all are unsalaried. Within the salaried list, who are all having premium salaries, that also I'll tell you. Just all that you need to do is you have all this report. These are credit card holders. Just you tell them, you represent our bank. You call them and say, you're calling from HDFC. You have an offer for this card. We are upgrading your card. You got it. Now what HDFC has done, I'm taking example of one bank, not HDFC, any bank. Okay, don't count me on all of this. Okay, this is example. Just examples. Okay. So if I give all this data to them, I have to do an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. NDA has to be signed. It's one of the governance. If I'm giving a data to a company, that company can use that data only for my objective. They cannot use it for anybody's objective. Now the problem is, whichever the company is taking the data for my activity, that company would have signed an NDA. Senior leadership, everybody signed an NDA. But the data is coming all the way to the ground. And people join company, people leave company. Tomorrow one guy copies the data and sells in the market. Who knows? You got it? So suddenly you saw, one year back, I don't want to name a bank, that bank, entire credit card holders of India's list was available in Singapore. Some guy was selling it in the market. Entire credit card holders list. Did you understand that? So these are the exploitation levels. You need outsourcing and other things. Otherwise data will not get exploited. So the fundamental challenges of data exploitation is when we, through our permission, give it outside, or with our ignorance, we give access to our devices. These are the only two ways. There is no other way. Did you all understand this? That's on in terms of security. Now the next term on data, what we need to talk about is scalability. Scalability. Okay, so let's understand data scalability. Data scalability. I started my conversation initially and I spoke about the fact, YouTube, the data keeps growing, right?
Yes, sir.
Gmail data keeps growing, and we spoke about so big data. How the data is growing so much and how are they able to accommodate it? So business should have the scalability. So in the scalability, we look at the case study of data rate. Look at the case study of data rate. And as the data is growing, it has positive and negative impact on urban development. It has both positive as well as negative impact on urban development. Okay, so let's look at the rate of data growth. Okay, the IDC report is one simple example. I will take you to this report, don't worry about it. Very simple to decode. You know by now what's exabyte. So we are talking about billions of GB, not 1 GB, 2 GB. Now this map, to decode it, understand the terms what I am saying, simple. This map will tell you how much of data, total amount of data on planet Earth year on year. Total amount of data on planet Earth, not individual data, your data, my data, corporate data, enterprise data, total amount of data on planet Earth. So it is all in exabytes. That means you already know what exabytes is. So in 2009, we were not even 1000 exabytes. Can you see that? Not even 1 zettabyte. 1000 exabyte is 1 zettabyte, not even 1 zettabyte in 2009. That is because the overall social media behavior started only in 2007, 2008. Facebook, Insta, that is the period. Okay, WhatsApp in 2011. Slowly everything started coming. Social media revolution only happened in 2008 and 2009. If you take years before that, nothing was there. Okay, but if you look at this data growth, isn't there a pattern or not?
Yes.
You see that? There is one linear graph until 2013-14 and after that the graph changes. Yes or no? So data rate behavior, as a data analyst you should know. Global data rate. How is it growing? What are the drivers? Can anyone tell me what was the driver there? Why is the data rate changing?
Number of users.
More number of users.
How more number of users? Where did I leave the How more number of users? Okay, before I speak about that, can anyone take a guess in 2025 how much will be? That is next year ends. We are already in 24. In 2025 how much will be? See, in 2020 we are close to 40,000, approximately 40,000 exabytes. How much do you think in 2025 will be? 60,000, correct? This growth is 50x. This growth is 50x. The growth from 2020 till now is 300x. Last 5 years, they have grown 300x in terms of data. Just now, this morning behavior, I told you, every little thing we captured in data. Yes or no? So, we are adapting to automation a lot. We are adapting to data capture a lot. So, it's growing in a very, very exponential way. You saw the data rate, right? But it is still 153 zettabytes. 153? By 2028, this will become 1000 zettabytes. That means 1 yottabyte. 2028, 2029, we will touch. Did you all get that? Alright. Now we will see. This is IDC report. IDC, historic, accurate. Their projections are always 99% accurate. Historic is 100% accurate. Projections are always 99% accurate. They're very perfect in that. Okay? So now, what are the drivers here? So I told you there's some data pattern change here, right? Okay?
4G.
Stand up. No, just 1 second. Stand up and sit down. 4G. Can you all see that? It is 4G. Alright, it is. Now, most of your faculty, some of your students, data analytics students and all that. Let us say tomorrow either the student is talking to you or you as a student, you are walking into an interview is asking you a question. Most of you are technologists in this group, right? This fundamental question they ask you. What did 4G bring to us? What is 4G's revolution? What will be your answer?
Easy access of data.
Easy access. Why? Okay, let's go one by one.
Faster access.
Faster access.
And
Easy access of data. Faster access.
and
Multimedia data.
Multimedia data.
reaching the
Penetrated into the market. It has-
Penetrated into a market.
Data rates.
Data speed is high.
Infrastructure development.
Infrastructure.
Development.
That is because data is growing. When data is growing, you have to develop the. My question is why the data is growing. What did 4G to see? The key driver for data growth is 4G. What is 4G doing? Why the data is growing? That's my question. What did it do?
It reached many people.
It is availability for every
Every
corner of
people.
the world.
Internet become more expandable and spannable.
Yeah.
See, let me tell you. If I go and talk to a vegetable vendor, he will tell me what it is. He will say 4G gave me a better speed. Earlier, before that, internet was not there in my hometown, in my village. 4G came, it gave me internet.
It is attracting people
Why is it attracting?
because of the speed. So many people will be opting for it, and they'll get more data on that.
Time efficient and cost effective.
Time efficient and cost effective. Speed related to all that. See, this is where I'll go back to my very first word back again. Data scientist, data analyst should be strategic. Your answers are not giving the strategic results. What was the objective of 4G? See, my fundamental question was in a relative way, Why would they have launched 4G? What is the primary objective? Obviously, it is giving you higher speed, more coverage. What is the objective of it? What is it bringing to the society? What is it doing in the revolution, urban revolution? No.
It is
What?
getting more data. Is it getting more data?
How? That's my question.
Because we are using it. The users are more.
I'll explain. I'll explain. Get this answer, okay? I'll explain. You are all getting emotional. I'll explain you. Right? I'll explain you. Okay? So what change did it bring? The change it brought to us was very simple. It converted every service into an app. It converted every service into an app. What is app? That means to avail any service, now it's on my palm. To avail any service, it's on my. That is a revolution. What? 4G. Did you all understand that? So in a very simple term, in a more strategic term, look at the strategy. In a more strategic term, if I'm more scientifically answering a person, this is how strategy people talk. Okay, a senior leader comes. Okay, he calls everybody. You know what? From tomorrow onwards, I don't want unrealistic facts for human beings. Example, I see people going and standing in queues everywhere. Okay, to do that, they're going to stand and go in that queue. To do that, they're going to. Queues are so unpredictable in human life. Why? The 5 people in a queue. Today also you might face a queue somewhere. There are 5 people in a queue. It might take half an hour. There are 100 people in a queue. Might take only 20 minutes. You would not know which queue will take how much time. And as a human, I want to sell a designer shoe. Today I want to sell a designer shoe. I don't need a showroom. Erstwhile, I need to have a showroom. I need to strategically think where I need to have a showroom. Then my customers will be only who's commenting in the street. Today, I can sell shoes to anyone across the world. Yes or no? Yes. Do I have a limitation? Any business can be a global business today. Do you all agree with that? So that's the revolution what 4G did for us. And that is why every other business started having millions and billions of users. Because every business become a global business. Every small business become a global business. You own a boutique, no more it's around there on the corner. Through your boutique, you can sell a dress to anyone, anywhere in the world. Correct? Every small business is a global business. That's why data rate started. Did you understand this? Yes. Understood the concept of data rate? Yes. Scalability. This is called scalability. Now, you see the data rate here. Much more exponential. Yes or no? Yes. Obviously, you know the answer. Obviously, you know the answer. What? 5G. Correct. Actually, 5G was supposed to be launched in 2020. It took a year delay because of COVID. 2021, it got launched. But one more thing COVID did for us. Without even 5G, we transitioned everything to digital platform. Even the leftover services also we got into digital platform. Yes or no? So already it brought us into a culture. Already it has brought us into a culture. Now I have a very simple question to you all. Let me see how we can answer. 4G, I explained you. Tell me what 5G will do for us. What has 5G done or what is 5G doing? Again speed? Reach? Okay, again speed, reach. Okay. Alright. So before I tell you what 5G does, most of you are teaching fraternities, correct? Here. Do you want one tip or tool how to make sure that people or grasp things much faster and how do you connect with them much faster? Yes. So AI is an automation. Tomorrow you want a job or not? We need a job, right? If we need a job, how can we be more approachable? I'll give you a very quick tool. Very quick tool. Just in a second, I'll give you a tool. Okay? Just know, I asked you what 4G did, you all randomly answered. Then when asking what is 5G doing, you all now started thinking what to answer. Now, this happens every time. This happens every time. That is why when you give an explanation, there are 2 things what you need to follow. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. This is a real-time example, I give it to all the students. Okay, real-time example. One fine day, I was standing in the beach. Okay, standing in the beach. It was a family trip. Standing in the beach, I was in Bangalore only. I was seeing the sunset. So my niece, she was my sister's daughter. She was next to me. She was about 2.5, 3 years old. Maybe first time she's seeing the beach. We were from Bangalore. She's seeing the beach for the first time. That much I realized. She was playing in the sand. I was standing there. She came and pulled my shirt, and I turned to her and I said, "What?" She asked me the question, "Why is the water coming towards us?" Okay. I don't want to waste my time asking you all why is the water coming towards us. I know most of you won't know. Okay. Yeah, good. So very good. Thank you. Anything else? So I gave all the answer to her. I told her moon's gravitational force, tide, surface tension, so many things I spoke. All that I said, she was staring at me. Okay. All that I said to her, and finally I said, "You still have age to learn that. Now go play." Okay. She went and she started playing. As we continued to watch the sunset, very few seconds, she came back to me. She pulled my shirt. Just know I sorted the problem. What is going on? What now? She's like, then why is the water going away from us? Now, sir? He gave a couple of reasons.
Because for every action, there is an opposite behavior.
For every action, there is an
That reaction you already gave her.
Exactly. So, the reality picture here is, anything that you teach, there are two elements which are very, very important. The first element is why element.
Why?
Why element. Why element. The second element is how element. So when somebody is questioning you or somebody is asking you for an explanation, or sometime when you're depicting a technology or a knowledge, never get into how. Always explain why. When you explain why and then tell why is what objective. Why is this there? Why is this happening? Why was this found? What is the principle behind this? What is it going to do? Why do we even need it? All the elements, if you talk about it and then get to the how element, people will grasp it very fast. When I asked the question why 4G, so you see my question, why 4G? You all answered how. How 4G works. My question was very simple. Why?
Exactly.
Suddenly, like that little girl, I suddenly asked now why 5G. All the reasons went vain. Yes or no?
Yes.
So why element is very, very important. So when you work on it, work on these two principles. Just my suggestion, just as a tool. Okay? Alright, coming back to the fact. What is 5G going to do for us? Why 5G? Anyone? So what 4G did, it converted every other service into a product. What 5G is going to do, every service into an application. What 5G will do, it will convert every product into an application. Every product into a, you might wonder how. How? I'll explain. I'll give you 2-3 case studies. All these are related to, again, sustainable development. Urban sustainable development. Is that okay?
Yes.
How does 5G, convert every product into an application? Okay, very simple example. Today, very simple. When I drove the car from my home to here, so when I'm driving the car, sorry? Everything is IoT. So IoT is what? Bringing anything over the internet. So 4G brought all the services to the internet. 5G is bringing every product to the internet. Simple as that. When a product is brought to the internet, product becomes an app. You know the difference? When a product is brought to an internet, product becomes when to apply brake, when to accelerate. The reason is I have the license. Some governance has taken care of it. They've given me the license. They trust me that I'm a driver and I'm driving. It's just a trust factor. Somebody told about data. Understood? Trust factor. I got a license, I'm driving, correct? Now let us say I have an autonomous car. Now, if an autonomous car is driving on the road, understand the dynamics of this. If an autonomous car is driving on the road, let's say I'm buying an autonomous car. Where's the trust factor? Where's the trust factor? For data only you have so many questions. Where's the trust? Now it's a life question of life. Guys, understand the dynamic what I'm talking about. It's an autonomous car. I'm buying this, let's say from Toyota, I'm buying an autonomous car. What is the trust factor? When they're delivering the car to me, they're saying, very fascinatingly comes to me. This car is going to do this, that, you don't have to drive, nothing. How sure you are this car is going to take me home, man? Say, how sure are you? Man, I can risk my life onto it, correct?
Yes.
So, actually how the technology works, I'll tell you. You might know, but in detail I'll tell you. If you look at an autonomous car, every component on it is as an associated sensor through which software monitors it. If there are 530 components in a car, 530 sensors are there, everything is associated to a software, centralized software. Is that okay? So now this person is coming and telling you, what happened? Okay, so autonomous cars understand every component in it as a sensor, and that sensor is associated to the software. Software monitors it. Is that okay?
Yes.
Now the guy who's selling it, you know how he'll sell it to me? He'll come to me and he'll say, sir, give me your phone. Give me your phone. I'm going to install an app in your phone. I'm going to install a and that app may not be in Play Store or Apple Store. That app you might download it from, let's say, Toyota's official website. It's an encrypted app he downloads. On that app, what he will do, first he will log in me through my biometric sensors and all that. App opens up. Then inside that app, he pastes that app to the car, chassis number, engine number, car software, everything it gets paired. Just like Bluetooth connection, not exactly Bluetooth, it gets paired through internet only. It gets paired. Is it okay? Completely gets paired. Now he says, sir, you know what? This app is your car. This app is your car. You decide which door to open because there's no driver seat. You decide which door to open. Rear, front, back. You open the door, sit inside the car, you select the destination here, click on ignite, move, it will go. That's how you sleep. It will take you where you want. It will take you where you want. Now, obviously, I have a question to you. The question is, what is the safety measure? That is when he will tell, you know what, sir? This particular car, the software which is running in it, like how you have an app in your phone, like how you are connected to the data center. Now, how your app is talking to this car, do you know? Your app is a client to Toyota's data center app, like how YouTube. Your app is a client to Toyota's data center app. Like that, that car is also an app and it's a client to Toyota data center. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So when the car is on the motion, every nanosecond there's a heartbeat sent from the car to the Toyota data center. Data center continuously monitors the health check of each and every component when the car is on traction. If any part fails, or pre-failure notification. Let's say the brake fluid is coming very low. Are you getting it? Or there's some problem in the car. The data center will send an emergency parking signal to the car. The car will pull it itself to the corner. You might be still continuing to sleep, no problem. We'll pull it to the corner and we ourselves will send the signal to the service because we know your location, we know what the fault is. You don't have to call up and tell the brake is not working. We know what the fault is. We know where your car is. Within 30 minutes, our roadside assist will come there. You can still be sleeping. The car will continue. Did you all understand this? Car will continue. Are you all getting it? Very, very fascinating, dynamic story.
Yeah.
But then I'll ask him a simple question. Don't be stupid, man. You know what? If I drive from Bangalore to Hyderabad on a highway, my normal phone calls drop. My normal phone calls drop sometimes. Signals are not there. Sometimes some websites doesn't know. How can you make sure this car is going to every nanosecond connect to the data center? What if it loses the connection to the data center? That is when you will say, so that is why even though autonomous car is a reality, it's an old technology, we are not selling it to people for, there are multiple reasons. First reason, one of the reasons is we don't have a 100% full-fledged 5G. Did you all understand that? Because autonomous devices cannot work without the speed of 5G. Minimum speed, 5G. Did you all get that? And that 5G should be at every reach, every spread. Did you all understand this? Everybody got the point? Now for your kind reality, if an autonomous car is driven on the road for 1 hour, every car is running on the road for hours together. If an autonomous car runs for 1 hour on the road, generates 2 terabytes of data inside the data center. 2 terabytes of data inside the data center. Did you understand how much of logging and reporting it does? Did you not get that? Because it is monitored every nanosecond. Now you understand with the revolution of product automation, how the data growth is going to happen. Yes or no? Correct? Now you know what Toyota will do. Or somebody in Toyota will sell that data to somebody else. So if there is a failure notification of a brake, a third party will reach out. We will do it at a better price than Toyota. Understand this? That's how business data exploitation happens. Did you all get that? Everybody understood the scalability? Got a clear idea of how the data dynamics? Did you understand the strategical aspects of data? That's very, very important. In every business, you need to understand the strategical aspects of data. Now, one example I gave you, like this, multiple examples are there. In the world of 5G, obviously the bandwidth expands, correct? The speed and the capacity increases. When the capacity increases in your home, now traditionally what in a home if 4 people are living, you might have 4 mobile phones, maybe 2-3 TVs. Correct? These are the things which are smart today and they will get connected to internet. So on your local Wi-Fi, at least 7 to 8 devices will be there. But in today's 5G world, since the bandwidth is so high, it can accommodate 20, 30, 40, 50 devices also. So automatically, since the bandwidth is increasing, they are slowly automizing each of the components in your house. All the domestic appliances. They are talking about smart refrigerators, they are talking about smart kitchen utensils, they are talking about smart CCTVs, they are talking about smart homes. Okay, where I might be here and I would have forgotten to close the curtain of my house. Suddenly it's raining. From here I can close it. I have my uncle surprisingly visit my home. I'm not at home. I can unlock it from here. Are you getting it? So how does that happen? That device is also client to a data center. The app on your phone is also client to a. So everyone who is selling a product now needs to have a centralized application, which was not the case earlier. If you want to sell a smart device, I have to have a centralized application inside the data center, and each device will start generating data. I'll give you a coin. Do you all know what is a smart refrigerator? Can anyone tell me what is a smart refrigerator? One more case study of urbanization. Smart refrigerator. Tell me. And exploitation of data in smart refrigerators. I'll tell you. Do you know what is smart refrigerator?
Firstly, it will control the temperature according to the items which you keep inside the refrigerator. First thing. Secondly, you can also change the temperature in your phone, and you can convert the fridge to the converter. You have a converter. One more thing you should have.
That's all.
Television programs also.
Scenario dynamics.
That is integrating products. That is integrating products. See, whatever you told me, it's not even 1% of smart. Okay, I will tell you what is smart refrigerator, what is data exploitation. You'll go bonkers now. Whatever you told me are the fascinating way of somebody describing a product to be smart, which is not smart. If a refrigerator can control temperature by itself, it's not a magic. It's just a temperature sensor. External temperature sensor, internal temperature sensor. And a simple program to automate and adjust, that's all. It is not smart. See, automation is not always smart. Smartness is something which can self-behave.
It can order itself.
It can self-behave. That means it can take decisions on its own. Did you understand that? That is the difference between digital and smart. Don't put both things together. Something which can digitally adapt is different. That is just an enhancement in technology. Smartness is something which can behave on its own. Correct? Why humans are termed smart? Because we take our decisions. Correct? If we don't take our decisions, we're no more smart. If somebody is deciding for us, we're never smart. Correct? So, smart devices are those which can decide on themselves. Now, let me tell you what a smart refrigerator is. The smart refrigerator obviously will have a ML module, machine learning module inside it. Okay. Now, let's say LG company is selling 100 smart refrigerators. Understand this case study. I'm just giving you a case study. Strategically, if you don't understand this, you'll not really understand how the world is moving. Okay. Let us say LG brand is selling 100 refrigerators. Okay. Now, when I sell 100 refrigerators, it's going into 100 different houses. Everybody has different behavior. Everybody has. Do you agree with that or not?
Yes.
The way refrigerator is used in your house versus my house is very different. Purpose is different. Correct? So when LG is deciding and designing a refrigerator, I cannot design it for a user. Rather, I will design a refrigerator to learn a user. Did you get it? So when I design a refrigerator, I sell 100 refrigerators to 100 clients. These refrigerators have a learning module inside it. Now, what is a learning module inside it? The learning module will understand your behavior. What is it you are stocking in the refrigerator? How often do you open the refrigerator? For what purpose are you opening the refrigerator? What is never away from the refrigerator? What is always in stock? Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So it's completely learning you. It's completely learning a user behavior, and the adaptation varies from customer to customer. So a smart refrigerator is one which I bound a learning module in it, a very mature learning module in it. It will come and learn your behaviors. You got it? Once it adapts each and every aspect of your behavior, It takes a time. It takes a time. That is when it will alert you to give rights for decision. That will when it will allow you, it will access permission to give you rights for decision. What kind of rights? So it will actually give a summary report for you. It will give a summary, you can edit the summary also. The summary it will say, you are a frequent user of milk. You make sure at home at least quarter liter or half liter milk is always there. You love cheese, cheese is always stocked. Am I wrong about you? You'll keep monitoring it. Are you getting it? So it tries to parallelly automatically learn, also learn from the user through some agreements. Are you getting it? So when you sign off certain agreements, it learns stability. It understands you 100%. Once it understands 100%, what already I told you what is 5G doing? Converting a product into an app. That refrigerator itself is an app. That refrigerator has a SIM slot or a Wi-Fi port. It is connected to internet. It has an application running on it. It's a client. It is now connected to LG. It's a client on your phone. The control client for it is on your phone. On your phone, you can link your LG refrigerator to any one of your grocery partners. Either Big Basket or Zepto, anyone. LG refrigerator will place order on behalf of you. You don't even have to worry. You don't even have to go to the refrigerator, open and check how much milk is there. You have signed off an agreement. It will place the order. Did you all understand that? Did you all get that? That is smartness. Did you all understand this? Understand what is that? And only 5G will do that revolution. Now you understand why we are moving to Toyota. Now imagine how much of data a refrigerator is collecting. The strategy behind this is what? Strategizing data. Did you all understand? Everybody got that? So don't confuse yourself into certain technology elements and term that as smartness. That is technology enhancements. Smartness is self-decision making. That means it can behave on your regards. It can behave on your regards. I will give you a simple example. I don't know, you might have studied this case study also. SpaceX, Elon Musk's organization, though it's a space and research organization, okay, they are working on some major project on humanoids, okay, robo-humanoids. Their fundamental objective is to replace all the front-end workers. Even before automation, that means they know still the margin for automation is, the period is there. They want to even fill the gap of the period by selling humanoids for various companies at a fixed price. So that they don't have to salary person time and again. Okay, so that is automation. Everybody understood what 5G is going to do?
Yes.
Okay, how a product becomes a app. That's the difference between 4G and 5G. The objective of 6G is, the fundamental objective of 6G is to bring, anyone? Never thought about it. Never thought about 5G on this. Huh?
We never thought about 5G on this.
Anyone about the future?
Replace human beings.
Huh? Yeah, no. That will not happen, ma'am. Those are all approach and efforts. See, even when Elon Musk brings that thing, first thing they will do, what? Nobody can eradicate humans. First thing is they will deploy such humanoid robots in places where it is harmful for humans to work. For example, leather factories, chemical industries, monotonous tasks. That is the whole objective. So that is again a direct linkage for your sustainable development goal. So they will not abruptly would go full force on human race. Nobody can do that. Okay, they are only looking at a business opportunity. Across the world, there are so many dangerous jobs that humans are doing, cleaning the drainage, all that. So obviously, if you have to uplift the society from there, that opportunity should not be there. So today, since that opportunity is there, somebody is looking for it. Correct? Tomorrow, you eradicate that opportunity, it will be safe. That's the whole objective. Got the fair idea? Okay. Okay. You all heard about quantum computing?
Yes, sir.
So the objective of 6G is to support quantum computing. Alright. And to support quantum computing and fog. Fog. Okay, what is fog?
The next level of cloud.
No. Okay. See, certain things you have to logically think. What is cloud? Where is cloud?
It's in server.
Cloud.
Cloud.
Where is cloud? Sky. Where is fog, mist? Ground. Sky is data center. Down is we. Who are we? Our laptops and mobile phones. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So cloud works on data center. Fog works on client devices. Not one level above. Got the point? So fog works on. I'm making you the easiest way of remembering it. That's all. Okay. Fog works on client devices, mobile phones and laptops. You know what is that is the technology we are right now working on research. The fog. My team is actually working on fog. So what fog does is fundamentally right now there are millions of users, correct? Well, the problem is the technology is growing so much. All these mobile phone manufacturers, for example, Samsung, Apple, and OnePlus, all these people, what they're fundamentally doing, they just to sell their next version of the phone, they are actually increasing the capacity of the phone. Yes or no? So one point of time, getting 100 plus GB on a phone was a premium thing. Today, 512 GB, 1 TB, is a normal thing. Any phone is packaged with 512 GB, 256 GB, 1 GB. Correct? 1 TB. My question to you is, if anyone has a 512 GB phone with you, tell me, have you populated it? No. Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay? Do you have a laptop at home? Okay. Don't have to tell me what model of laptop it is. At least you can tell me what brand of laptop it is. HP. Very good. Now that HP laptop, what is the storage capacity? Do you know? You don't know. You have a laptop? What is the storage capacity of that? Means how much of the hard disk you have?
512 GB.
Okay, sir is giving an example. 512 GB. What brand of laptop do you have, sir? Huh? Lenovo. You have 512. Understand the case study, guys. Understand the case study. This helps. Understand the case study. Okay. Sir is helping us for me to flow through. Okay. So 512 GB of hard disk he has on his laptop. Now this 512 GB. When did you buy this laptop, sir? 3 years back. How? 3 years back, that means 2020-21, he has bought a laptop, 512 GB. Okay, nominal capacity, nothing wrong about it. Now that 512 GB, how much have you used? 50%. 50. 3 years he has used 50%. And whether I am going to use that 512 GB over the period of time, I don't know. On that laptop, where is it right now? It has a processor?
Yes.
It has X number of cores in computing facility and RAM.
Yes.
Are you utilizing it completely? No. It's sleeping now. Are you getting or not? Like this, there is so much of compute power across the world. Sleeping. Why should I build another data center? Inside the data center, I'll only have the data. For processing my data, I will use your compute facility as my servers. You didn't get the point what I'm saying. You're all clients, right? Did you understand that? In your phone, 50% of your power, lease it to me. 50% of memory, I will pay bill to you. So you own a phone, month on month, you'll get, $10 or $5 just for holding the phone in your pocket and keeping it on. Did you understand that? So I'm going to use your compute resource to run my business applications. At the end of the day, my business application will not be running on the server. It will be running on your phones. Only the data will be stored in the data center. That means if she is accessing YouTube, she has to connect to a YouTube application. That application will not be in Mumbai data center. She might land into any one of my phones where I'm running YouTube. So our request will land into his phone without his knowledge, because 50% of his phone is actually running YouTube now. Our request will land into his phone. From there, the data reception will happen. It will process it and give you. So I can reduce it. Again, sustainable development. Fog is one of the key steps what we have taken for urban sustainable development. Because with that data rate growth, how many data centers more we need, how many server capacities we need. So how do we we cannot 100% eradicate servers, at least 10%, 15% of it, can't we push that compute activities to the local systems? Another way of doing this is, if she is accessing a particular video, already is seeing that video, why should our request go to the data center, push it from his phone and give it to her? That's also fog. You all understand that? Did you all get that? So that's the technology what we are working on right now. That's again one of the key strategy towards CO2 emission. Control on CO2 emission due to data center tools. Did you all get that? Everybody got a
Are any
how?
organization using fog computing now?
Sorry, no. Nobody's. It's still under development. Cisco claims some of their switches in traffic. It's doing it. Doesn't do it. Just a claim. That's all. Okay. In switch trafficking, they are doing it as of now. It does not. See, fog is all about moving the compute architecture to the client layer. That reality has not come up yet. We are still doing the research on it. But in 6G, we'll roll it up.
And is it necessary that to apply the fog computing 6G is necessary?
Absolutely. We need that speed. In 5G itself, I cannot use his phone as a server for us. I need 6G.
Whether it is somewhere similar.
Got it?
So it's somewhere similar to the way everyone was set about is robot which can act as a robot taxis for other people when it's stationary. Right?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Not the reality.
Yes, sir.
Working one. With the 6G only we come to play. Do you understand what 6G is going to do? Two major elements. One is it's going to adapt and support quantum computing. Second, it's going to make fog a reality. Fog is not a new technology, it's the old technology. Like your automation, car automation, it's an old technology, but to bring it to reality we needed 5G. Like that, for fog,
I
we need
don't
6G.
know, the fog computing and edge computing both are same or different?
No, they're different.
What is the difference?
We'll talk about it. It'll deviate from us, from the topic. Alright? Okay, sure. So did you all understand how the data, I was talking about scalability right now, how the data growth happens and what replications it can happen, what are the drivers for the data growth, and in urban what effects can happen, and for urban sustenance development, what technologies are looking forward, how we cannot eradicate things 100%, but somewhere we have to adapt and move. Fair enough? Everybody got a fair amount of idea? Understood the strategies? Okay, now let's get to the reality picture. Okay, sustainability, you all know this already, I don't have to talk about it. It is related to people, planet and profit. Okay, so sustainability has 3 dimensions. Okay, people, planet and profit. Okay, I can put it in different ways. People, planet and profit, I can put it in different ways. People is you as a person and the society. You as a person and the society. Did you get that? You as a person and the society. So what actions that you are going to take as an individual and what strategies you are going to bring for the society. What strategies you are going to bring for the society matters a lot. That's from a people perspective. From a planet perspective, there are so many things, clean water, clean energy, climate control, just to protect our mother nature, that's about it, planet. So in planet everything covers, even life under the water and life on earth, everything comes into play. Is that clear? So under people, if you see a lot of elements, from an individual perspective, from a person perspective, it has aspects relative to poverty, it has aspects related to hygiene factor, it has aspects related to health, okay, health. It has even aspects related to education, okay. It has aspects related to even mindset, like having a comfortable job and growth. Okay, so tomorrow I should not be scared in the society. Correct? Just because there's so much of transitions happening. See, society has been transitioning historically. Even today it's going to transition. Tomorrow it's going to be prepared. That's all. So how we get prepared for all this transition is what? Under people. Okay, for sustainable development. So under planet, you already know. Okay, to save our planet Earth. Technically, from climate, weather changes and pollution. Okay, fundamentally these two are the elements. Okay, anything that you do. Okay, I'll ask you a simple question. This will change your mind. This will change your mind. I'll ask you a very fundamental question. Name one thing that we as humans, historically or until now or in the future, that we have invented that goes with Mother Nature. One thing. That doesn't destruct Mother Nature. One thing. Name one thing, right? Such an open challenge. Name one thing. Historically, whatever we have invented, historically, today and to the future, name one thing which does not do any kind of destruction to Mother Nature. Which? Huh? That also destroys Mother Nature. Right? Do you understand that?
Without fertilizer also,
See, agriculture deforestation. Listen, man, you have to do urbanization, you have to do deforestation. You have to create a green belt, you have to do deforestation. See, name one thing. It's an open bet to everyone. Name one thing which we have innovated, which we have been working on, which we are thinking of, which is against Mother Nature.
Knowledge.
Sorry? Knowledge. Our knowledge is a distraction. The tool of knowledge, what we have is a distraction. We don't have a tool of knowledge which is supportive to nature. We don't have a tool of knowledge supportive to nature. Okay? So we are sitting here and talking about sustainable development. Okay? We are sitting here and talking about sustainable development. So the reality picture is everything is under distraction. But the rate in which we distract, at least we need to control. So the primary principle of sustainable development is how do you build a control mechanism? How do you not 100% protect, at least do something to build a healthy, wealthy and a safe society. That's exactly what sustainable development is. And how do you do that? Through the data that's available with us. Because there is no limitation for the data that we have today. Data is in abundance. You already know. You are a teacher teaching, correct? We have so much of data. Now, using this data, when we want to do something for tomorrow, when you want to strategize something for tomorrow, or even want to build a product for tomorrow, how do we utilize this data and make sure the impact on the society is bare minimum? In terms of our innovation, in terms of our creativity, in terms of our investment, in terms of our invest, in terms of our time, how do we reduce the impact? It's all about sustainable development. Did you all understand that? I gave one example of fog, what we are working on. Why are we working on that? Because we know data is growing. When the data is growing, data centers are going to grow. Carbon emission is going to become very high. So somewhere we want to reduce the compute power there. Because anyways, we cannot stop people buying fancy devices. We cannot stop, even though you have a good phone today, tomorrow one more releases, you'll buy that also. Right? You want fancy laptops, you want everything. So how can we utilize that? So that's one direction. So we cannot 100% eradicate. The methodology is how logically you approach that. So why this is induced to each one of you here is the reality picture. I'll tell you. The reality picture is tomorrow when you're working in an organization also, if your organization is pushing you for some strategy or some innovation, understand the repercussion and the after effects of your innovation and try to see how you can reduce the impacts on people, planet. Obviously, impact on people and planet, growth on profit, no doubt. Should be a growth on profit. There should not be any impact on any of these horizons. Is that clear? If you are working on something, which ethically you feel it's going to be impact of this or this or this, please get out of that job. That sensitivity every human being has to consider. Just for the sake of money, let's not do anything. That's the whole object. If we are teaching a set of people also, let's bring that to this awareness. If for the sake of money, let them not do anything. Whatever they innovate, even they're part of a team and they're doing an activity, if the team, the impact they're reducing it, well, is that clear? Now the question is, very smart question I'm going to have with you all, because little emotional conversation there was, I don't like that. Alright, so let's get to the science again, okay? So you all know what sustainable development, you got a fair amount of idea, it's around this. This is sustainability. You have to sustain your people, you have to sustain your planet, you have to sustain your profit. Fine, okay? Now sustainability is sustaining. Somewhere you have to develop. What's the definition of development? See, what's the definition of development? What do you mean by development? Here I'm going to give you a lot of science, okay? In terms of development, I'm going to give you a lot of, because end of the day, you're going to use data for development. If you don't understand the science behind development, you will not be able to apply the data in the right way. Okay, so let's understand what is development. What is your definition of development?
It's like improving standard of living.
Improving the standard of living. Very good.
Increase the utility of something.
Increase the
utility of something.
utilization of something. Increase the utilization of something. Very good. Yes.
Any positive increment in any of the
Positive increment. Upgradation. Like buying a new phone. Okay, enhancing your lifestyle. Enhancing your lifestyle. Upgradation. Okay.
In a funnier way, you can say making humans little lazy.
That's not development. That's retirement plan. Okay? That's not development, okay?
Like